Welcome to the channel and welcome to this battle report between Death Guard and Drukhari. Today on the channel, Lord Kalos Typhon of the Harbingers is burning his way across this battle grid, and hunting for him are the Drukhari. This is a 2,250 point game because my opponent said he's got 200. You said bring 250.
Well, that's everything I've got painted.
Right, okay, brilliant. So we're playing an open war game and we are playing domination. Open war deck. These are the cards we draw. We don't know who's deploying on what edge yet, but there is a null zone in effect, which means I subtract 2 from Psychic Test. And I'm saying me because I'm playing Death Guard. So I've got the Psychos, and Drukhari, don't worry about that magic stuff. So it's -2 to my... A smite is going to be 7. It's going to be 7. Domination works like this. There are 6 objectives on the battlefield, and the Drukhari have put their objectives up high. In match play, you can't put these up high. They're supposed to be down on the thing, but this isn't match play. This is open war. And what we're saying is, if you're directly below one of these that are up high, you can also score it as well. We've agreed that. And then
it was me who said that.
Yeah.
Winters said he'd be quite happy to have to climb up, and I said no.
It doesn't make any sense. If you're just below it, clearly you're not holding that objective because I'll be shooting you in the foot.
Yeah.
So directly below will count. And I put my 3 down next to all these ammo dumps here. Now, the idea is at the end of the battle round, you get a point if you control more objectives, and you get a point if you kill more. So a maximum of 2 points per battle round. But remember, you're scoring at the end of the battle round. So he who goes first has a chance to be pushed off of objectives at the end of the battle round. Basically, he who goes second has the opportunity to score, has a tactical advantage.
You know what you've got to achieve if you're going second.
I'm trying to do my thing. We'll get to you, okay? We'll get to you. I know I'm excited that you're here too. I'm really excited that you're here too, but I'm doing the thing about the thing. I talk about the scenery, Okay, we welcome back to the channel for the first time in a long time. Paul, say hi, Paul.
Hello.
And during lockdown, I've been speaking to a lot of people. People are painting lockdown armies. You told me that you've done 7 lockdown armies.
I think it's 7. It might be 8.
Yeah, so
some of them aren't very big.
Not a lockdown army. 7. Yeah, but it's still, if you do a 500 point patrol, it's still a whole new army, right?
Yeah.
And other people, as well as doing 1 lockdown army, and that's it, you haven't just done a lockdown army, you also started your whole new, brand new YouTube channel. What is the name of your YouTube channel, SayHiPaul?
It is called SayHiPaul.
Hello, it's me. I'm editing the video. Look, editing. Kitty cat. Hobby desk. SayHiPaul YouTube channel. Paul is a lovely bunny. All of my most popular videos have got SayHiPaul in it. So if you want to show him some love, I encourage you to go across and subscribe to SayHiPaul's YouTube channel. And indeed, you could really, really show him some love and become a channel member of SayHiPaul. So 2,250 points worth of domination. We've got some 3D printed stuff that Monkey did for me and some GW stuff. And then a battle map from GameMap.eu and some glorious terrain spread around all over the place. The ammo dumps and obstacles that you see are from March of War, and these glorious resin modular, you can put them together in whatever designs you want. Modular terrain are also from March of War. I shall try and remember to put the links in below. James from March of War is a good person. Do we want to talk about your channel and everything that's on there? Narrative stuff is on there, right?
Yeah, narrative.
And campaigns and narrative and things.
Narrative and campaigns.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What is the campaign going on there at the moment?
Right now, there are 2 on public YouTubes.
Yes.
It's a campaign with Drukhari Real Space Raids.
Drukhari.
Set just after the Primaris Marines became a thing, and Cormoror is a buzz wanting some Primaris captives. So one particular raiding force is they're overplaying their hand to try and draw some attention. They're staying longer than they should in one particular place.
Right.
And escalating the combat to try and snare in some Primaris Marines.
Ooh, yeah.
So the first game's against Guard, second game's against Admech, which has literally just been gone up today.
Right.
And the third game, which I'm yet to film, is against someone else.
Okay. Well, this is coming out about 2 weeks later, so that one will probably be out.
That'll already be out.
Yeah.
And on my members bit, the current campaign is a campaign called Maiden World.
Right.
Which is 3 factions fighting over the one planet. It's an Eldar Maiden World that the Imperium have settled. And the Emperor's children have turned up, killed the Imperial settlement, and are now hunting for soul stones and things to eat and trying to get access to the webway. So the Iron Hands turn up from the Imperium to reclaim the world for the Imperium. The Ynnari turn up to stop the Emperor's children from defiling the world spirit. And then the Ynnari and the Iron Hands go, well, we don't need to be friends. Well, I'm paraphrasing. But so it's the first chapter of that is up at the moment. It's 3 battles, one with each of the 3, one against each of them, if that makes any sense. And there'll be a part 2 later in the year.
So some people paint lockdown armies, other people paint 7 lockdown armies and set up a YouTube channel. And we're fortunate enough to have that absolutely crazy guy in the room for this 2,250 point battle report. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, we've gone over the 2,000 points. So we've got 18 CP to play with because 2,000 to 3,018 CP, which is good. So there'll be lots of shenanigans happening. And leading my force is First Captain Kalos Typhon. I guess that was his name. Leader of the Harbingers. So this is a Harbingers detachment because I brought Typhus, so it's got to be Harbingers. So then I thought about what Typhus would have with him, and I naturally started with Poxwalkers, the ruined remains of this planet. And he wouldn't have any other Lords of the Death Guards with him, so I couldn't split up into different patrols and things. Instead, he's got a malignant playcaster with him known as Delirium the Corruptor. Delirium the Corruptor actually featured in Saga of the Red Frost 2 campaign, which is in deploymentzone.tv.
Great campaign, great fun, big wow.
Thank you, Paul. So he was in that one, and he's coming out to play. Typhon has got Miasma of Pestilence and Curse of the Leper. He's got Miasma of Pestilence and Putrid Vitality. I've also given him Foul Effluence and Fulgaris' Helm. What that does is he's got a 9-inch Slinky Aura that could do mortal wounds. And by putting it on him, it helps me remember Pestilential Fallout. So 9-inch Slinky Aura plus Pestilential Fallout, just a chance to do mortal wounds here, there and everywhere. Typhon does mortal wounds to a unit within 6 inches of him as well, because he is the host of the Destroyer Hive. So these guys, really stinky farts. Poxwalkers. And then I thought if I'm bringing Typhus, then he'd definitely have a surgeon, which would be dragging around after him to make sure he's okay. There wouldn't be Mortarion because he hates him. And there'd be some Polite Lord Terminators or some Death Shroud keeping him company. So the idea is these guys basically stay together. 7 Blight Lord Terminators, Flail and Blight Launcher, and then 3 units of 7 Plague Marines. I've done the silly thing against Drukhari and bring choppy ones rather than shooty ones. So in 2 of the squads, there's a mace and a flail and a fist. And in 1 of the squads, I've got a fist and a plasma gun on the champion and a plasma gun on the other guy. I normally always bring Blight Launchers. Why I stuck plasma in there right now, I couldn't tell you. So lots of bubonic Astartes moving forward, lots of the core of the Legion, because Typhus he's not a nice guy, and he wouldn't go rampaging out into the universe without lots of people to keep him company. And then I realized I didn't have any guns whatsoever. So I bought rhinos for the troops, and this is my guns in the backfield. 2 plague crawlers with entropy cannons. The Hellbrutes got las missile launchers because I needed guns. And then I brought 2 spitty drones. Now, Blight launcher drones would have probably been a better choice because that would give me range. Because if you actually look across the force, there's not much range here at all. But I figure spitty drones are 1, cheaper, and 2, able to push up the table and therefore spread out the contagion range. If you get within range of contagion, your toughness is reduced. So I can use them as quite aggressive units moving forward and helping the toughness 3 puny Eldar become toughness 2. That would be completely nasty. So there's the shooty stuff, backing up the punchy stuff, making its way up the table. Loads of command points, lots of psychic spells that are not going to go off because the Drukhari have detonated a null zone over the site, subtracting 2 to my psychic tests. But that's what they do. They're sneaky, they're dark, they're Eldar. Let's go and have a look at this raiding force. What?
I said, how much detail do you want me to go into on the army? Because on my channel, I'm used to spending about half an hour talking to each one before I roll a dice.
How much detail do you want to go into?
There's quite a lot to talk about.
We have 3 patrols of Drukhari here.
Yes.
Patrol. We have the Cabals, we have the Covens, we have the Witch Cults.
Yes.
You've spent 3 CP already. You've got a chunk left.
Yes.
What Cabals, so we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
What Cabal have you got for your Cabal?
Okay, it's the Cabal of the Flayed Skull.
Right.
They own, their starport is called the Poison Crown.
Yeah.
Which is at the top of Cormoror. They're very big on flying and control of the skies.
Okay.
It's actually the second biggest Cabal in Cormoror after the Cabal of the Black Heart, so these guys are pretty powerful.
Okay.
They tend to be all the flying units. They tend to never be not in the air. They have a lot of Scourge packs, often throwing their lot with them. So their mercenary unit is a Scourge pack.
Yes.
And just for the record, those guys belong in a mincer because they're terrible. Not Scourges, those models.
Oh, they're not great to do.
No. Not the painting of them. They were lovely to paint.
Yes.
They've never rolled above a 3.
Oh.
Not once.
Maybe now's the time their fate will change.
I doubt it.
Okay.
So they've got lots of various different weapons.
Yes.
They're very rich, the Scourge. I could talk about the Scourges for probably
No,
20
no,
minutes, so I won't.
they've got all the toys. I mean, those wings are surgeon. They talked to the Homunculus about doing this to them and making their bone. And
That's right, they hollow out their bones.
Yeah, they got the money to pay for it.
They get the wings grafted onto them, and they have to survive the flight from the base of Cormoror to the top spires.
Yes.
And if they do, they can join a Scourge pack. And Scourges are protected by Azabul Vect because they're the only trusted way of being able to pass messages around Cormoror that aren't interfered with.
Yeah.
So killing a Scourge is a death sentence.
Yeah. In
Cormoror. Cabal of the Flayed Skull, their bonuses that they get for their obsession, they get flying units get +2 to move.
Yeah.
And flying units and units embarked on a flying unit ignore light cover when they're shooting at things.
Yeah, so these guys ignore light cover. These guys ignore light cover.
Yeah.
They're much faster. Is that a Dark Lance on the Raider?
This is a Dark Lance, yes.
Dark Lance on the Raider, Venom, and then these guys down here.
And it's got trophies on the Raider.
Nice.
Can't remember what they do. I think it's something to do with leadership. I'll check.
Yeah. Chain snares?
No, not chain snares.
Chain snares are quite cool.
They are, but no chain snares, you see.
Okay.
No chain snares.
All right.
It has got splinter racks, though.
Cool.
Which extend my double tap range for the rapid fire.
The rapid firing guys that jump inside it can rapid fire at full range, which is what some of the Death Guard can do all the time.
That's right. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
So then we have, is that it for them?
Well, no, there's the Archon.
Archon with him?
Who's the warlord.
Yes.
This is his court of the Archon.
Yes.
2 Sliths, a Lilliman and a Medusa.
Yes.
These 2 are bodyguards that are tough and choppy and shooty. She buffs poisons on him.
Yeah.
And this guy is a really weird creature that lives in the webway. That when he looks at something, he sort of demolishes its soul and learns all about it. You see how it's growing this massive thing of brain?
Yes.
Well, that constantly grows. It learns from everything it kills. And what the Archon does is it just picks a lump off it and eats it. And then he learns about the thing it's just killed.
Nice. Nice tasty treat.
Yeah, lovely
Maybe
snack.
with some tossed salad and a bit of cheese.
Well, quite.
Okay, so we'll get back to your things because there's some.
Do all those in a go. Okay.
Yeah. Then we have the racks. We have the coven.
Yep. We have the prophets of flesh.
Prophets of the flesh.
Not of the flesh. I was saying that for years. It's prophets of flesh.
Cool. So they have a 5 up, feel no pain, a 6 up invulnerable save in turn 1, and prophets of the flesh are they ignore 1, 2, 3s to wounds so long as it's less than strength 8.
Correct.
So it's a bit like a mini transhuman.
Yes.
So you got them.
It won't make much difference.
With a homunculus.
With a homunculus. The homunculus being near these guys,
Yeah.
his aura increases their toughness by 1.
Yeah, and it does it to the pain engines as well.
It does, but it only puts them from 6 to 7. It doesn't make a lot of difference, practically speaking.
I do have some strength 6 weaponry going on, and some strength 5 weaponry with contagion range that could come into effect.
It could come into effect on the ranks. Yeah.
So they've got some mercenaries with them as well. You've got some mandrakes and things.
Some mandrakes, yes.
But they're not really mercenaries. They come out of the Shadow Realm.
They are both. Because they will tend to contract for really weird esoteric things.
Yeah.
They might contract for, say, the last breath of an aspect warrior. That might be their payment. Or a wisp of the essence of a Kroot. Or something. They have very weird, bizarre payments. And the Drukhari are terrified of these guys because they are massively efficient assassins.
Yeah.
And because they can just come out of your shadow.
The shadows come alive.
The shadows come alive.
Yeah. I love it.
That's what she said.
Yeah. You've got some incubi back there.
The incubi with the witches.
So let's talk about the witches.
Okay. Cult of Red Grief.
Yes.
So they're the natural partners of the Cabal of the Flayed Skull.
Yes.
Partly because their paint scheme is the same.
Yes.
And partly because these live in the spires. They only ever set foot on the ground to deliver the killing blow.
Nice.
Yeah. And ironically, previously they didn't have the paint scheme for the vehicles in the book, only for the witches. They've changed it in the new book. So
why?
I don't know. I'm super angry with them because my army now doesn't look narratively correct.
Okay.
I might have to spray it with Dettol and redo them up. No,
Cult of Red Grief. They're
I'm
super
totally not doing that.
They're super fast as well, right?
Yes. They get +2 to advance, +2 inches to advance, and they get to reroll charges.
Yeah. So you're looking at Drukhari in turn 2 because of power from pain can advance and charge.
Yep.
And then these guys can advance and charge +2 because +2 to the advance.
And reroll.
And reroll that charge.
Yeah.
And so you've got some Helions.
Oh, don't get started on these guys.
Let's get you started on Helions, Paul. What I quite like the fact that they're more efficient now. I have a serious problem with them being toughness 4.
Yes, so do I. They are as hard as a Primaris Marine.
They're little elfy dudes on top of a skyboard. Why are they toughness 4?
Let's be clear, right? They've made them 17 points each. They are not unbalanced.
Yes.
Game-wise, they're absolutely perfectly balanced, in my opinion.
Yes.
They're perfect. But they could have achieved the same aim with a -1 to hit. Or an invulnerable save versus range, because they're that, like a dodge against bullets. They could have achieved the same amount of survivability with rules that didn't turn them into Primaris Marines or Orc Knobs, which is basically what they've done. And I'm super angry.
As tough as a Primaris Marine, toughness 4 with 2 wounds. They're as tough as these guys on clearly big, chunky bikes, toughness 4, 2 wounds. Yep. I look at these and I think of Edit, Admech Robodoggo.
Yep.
Toughness 3 with 3 wounds. Give these guys 3 wounds and toughness 3. I don't care. Well, I care if they've got 28 wounds, but I feel they should be toughness 3 because they're pixie little. I mean, at least these guys are made of metal.
Yeah.
I shoot one of these in the arm, their arm comes off.
So yeah, you hit one of those guys in the chest with a mass reactive round that destroys humans on contact.
Yeah.
And he goes, ow.
Can we also explain to people how you made your pain even worse? Because witches have combat drugs, which you can pick or you can roll for.
Yep.
And you rolled for them.
So, yeah.
And what's their toughness now?
Oh, they got Pain Bringer, which is +1 toughness. They're now toughness 5. But I read it and I thought no one would know if I changed the dice roll. But then I thought, no.
Toughness 5,
Toughness 5.
So, yeah, they're taking the drugs that make them feel no pain.
Yeah.
They're really tough. What have you got on the Reavers?
Well, they get 2, you see. If you roll randomly, they get 2.
What's the other one, yeah?
So the Hellions have got Adrenalite, which gives them +1 attack if they're charged or heroically intervene. But not if they are charged. Only if they charge. So then they got +1 toughness. The Reavers got Adrenalite for +1 attack if they're charged, and Hypex for +2 movement.
So they're going even faster.
They're going even faster.
So they are definitely not on PCP. They are definitely not on speed. Don't do drugs, kids. So they can drive their bikes at super fast speeds.
Yeah. We had an interesting discussion about that. I said to Winters, how on earth does the drug they're taking make the bike faster? It's rubbish.
and I said the bike's top speed might be 60 inches. The absolute top speed on an open battlefield, like a flat plane, might be from one end of this battle grid all the way to the other end of the battle grid. It's actually faster than it is in the game. What's happening is they're so wired. They've drunk so much Red Bull.
Their reflexes are improved.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And I'm willing to concede that. I think that's a reasonable explanation.
Okay, I think that's about the only argument I've won this morning.
There have been many.
So they've got the thing. And the witches, what do the witches get? What drugs have they got this morning?
The witches got Grave Lotus, which gives them +1 strength, which will have no effect on the game whatsoever. Because...
Why?
Well...
Strength 4 now.
Yes. And all your toughness is?
5. Well, no, Poxwalker's toughness 4.
Yeah.
So that might work.
Yeah, okay, maybe. If I'm throwing witches at Poxwalker, something's gone wrong.
Yeah. And what's their other one?
The other one is Serptin, which is +1 weapon skills. They hit on 2s now.
Nice. Well, they hit on 2s 1 turn 3 anyway, don't they, or something?
Yeah.
I think they do. Okay, so what you... And they're going to go in the Raider.
Yep. And this Raider does have chain snares.
That one has chain snares.
Yes.
Nice. So they're in the Raider.
And a disintegrator cannon.
We've got the Incubi for the Venom. These guys are going to go super fast. These guys are going to go super fast.
So the reason, just very briefly.
Yes.
So the Incubi have been hired by the witches because witches don't do, well, they do now because of the changes in the rules, but ignoring the extra AP that the witches have all of a sudden acquired on their sharpened fruit knives, witches recognise that they can't deal with heavy armour, so they hire Incubi.
Yeah, because AP dash, right? They need, because they have fruit knives.
Fruit knives. They're now apparently AP2 fruit knives. Well, AP2 if they roll 6s to hit, but AP1 as a standard. It irks me.
So they're as tough as Space Marines with as many wounds, and they're more choppy than Space Marines in combat with a butter knife.
Yeah, these
Which is fine. It's perfectly balanced. We're not annoyed at all. Right, moving on to the HQs.
It's balanced. Where is it? It's balanced in terms of the points in the game.
Yeah.
It does not in any way reflect the narrative of the army. That's why I'm so angry.
Well, when has there been a perfect edition where every single unit reflects the things in the game? There's always been outsiders, outliers, right?
I'm not asking for every single unit. It'd be nice if there was one.
Right, okay. But I think these aren't as broken now.
Sorry, I am being a little bit facetious and I'm playing up to it for the camera. However, it'd be nice if they actually gave some thought to the way they make them harder. When there are obvious ways that they could have achieved the same result and not had to bend the narrative concept to make it happen. It just feels lazy to me. That's why I'm frustrated with it.
There's a whole podcast on just Helions that we could talk about. Yeah, so...
I did a SayHiPaul rambles about Drukhari last Tuesday, which is on my YouTube channel.
You just turn the camera on and talk, and you say, I'll only be half hour on this one, and then 2 hours later.
Yeah. I go off on one.
Yeah.
There's a brief interlude where someone tries to put a lobster on my head for 10 minutes, but other than that, the rest of it's all about Drukhari.
Nice. I like them for balance. Yes. I think if it was me doing it, I would take down some points, I would take down some toughness, I'd make them cheaper, more efficient, for less points, and swarms of Helions where you've got 40, 50 of these guys coming at you. That's what it is in the narrative.
Yeah, I love that. That's
not a pimped unit of 10 or a pimped unit of 15. If you get attacked by some Helions, they're supposed to be like a flock of birds. There's supposed to be so many of them that you're in real trouble now. Yeah. That's how they're Drukhari, they're nasty, they're not going to come at you in 1s and 2s. Right, putting that aside, go and see SayHiPaul's rant on his channel. HQs. We have the Warlord of your army, and you said you spent a CP because there's a lovely stratagem, which I actually quite like, which you spend the stratagem for him and they all get a Warlord trait.
Yeah, it has to be an Archon as your Warlord, and then a Succubus and a Homunculus.
Yes.
And they each get a Warlord trait.
Yes, so we've got Drukhari, the Master of Blades, that helps Incubi, and then Archon, Homunculi, Succubus.
Yeah, that's why it would have been a raiding force, but I can't have the 4th HQ in a raiding party, and I wanted Drazar because I wanted to bring all my painted models, because I painted this army to bring up to play against you about 18 months ago, and then lockdown happened. Yeah. So I wanted to bring the army I'd painted.
We were going to do a whole campaign featuring these guys. Yeah. And the 13th. And then something called COVID happened. Did you hear about that?
Well, rings a bell. It's beer, isn't it?
I think so. Corona, yeah, with a bit slice of lime.
Yeah.
Your Archon, what's he got?
Okay, so the Archon is Warlord Traitor's famed savagery.
Okay.
It's the Cabal of the Flayed Skull special one.
Nice.
+1 attack, +1 strength.
Okay, so he's okay.
Yeah.
Have you got a relic on him or
His
anything?
relic is the Jinn Blade.
Ooh.
Which is one of the more powerful relics. But
is that the one that ignores invulnerable saves?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, I've written something down about that. I'm not sure.
I've heard one of the
I'll
blades
check.
is really tanky. So you've turned into a bit of a beat stick.
It's a 3 damage weapon. So he knows they're coming up against Death Guard, so he's bringing a tanky sword.
Okay.
He gets +2 attacks, +1 strength, -3 damage, -3 AP, 3 damage. And if he rolls a 1 at the end of the phase, that's what I've written down, he takes a mortal wound.
Okay.
The blade takes some of his soul.
Yeah, okay. So he's got extra attacks for his Warlord trait and extra attacks for the relic. Yeah. So he's a bit of a beat stick.
He is. Although I've never got him into combat with anything because
he's an Archon.
He's an Archon.
Yeah.
He
would try not to.
Yeah. And I'd try very hard not to even get him out of his venom.
Yeah. We have Homunculus.
Okay, so he has the Prophets of Flesh special Warlord trait.
Nice.
Diabolical Soothsayer, which gives you a choice. You either give him +1 toughness and +1 wound, or +1 movement, +1 attack.
Okay.
It's nice, I like it. I've given him +1 toughness and +1 wound.
Yeah, makes sense.
He has a relic, so I paid an extra CP for that. That's why he's got a CP next to him.
Yep.
The Helm of Spite. That gives me 1 deny the witch. He can deny the witch once.
Yeah.
But if I successfully deny, it forces a perils on the caster.
Ooh, that's D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's the only anti-psycho thing you've got.
You've got a chance to do one anti-psycho thing, and I love it actually because there's this null zone, that random twist that we pulled out, so it's going to be harder for me to cast. So some Dark Eldar trickery has gone on, and then he's come along with the Helm of Spite as well. Mm-hmm. It's like you know that Typhus is here, and you want to drag him back to the pits to do
this is a Homunculi sponsored raid to try and get subjects for the labs.
Oh.
The Homunculi are all about, they're very similar in outlook to Fabius Bile. They're all about unlocking the secrets of the universe, of creation.
Yes.
And the Lord of the Destroyer Hive is a wealth of untapped knowledge.
I'll tell you what, there's only a few things that are worse than getting dragged back to Cormorant to be put in the fighting pits, and one of them is lab experiments.
Yes, going back to the lab. Yeah,
Cormorant is essentially hell. It's essentially hell.
Yeah. Well, the very short version is the Drukhari only survive exposure to Slanesh by causing suffering in others. Their souls wither and die, but they become renewed by tormenting other living beings. And
moving on to the witch.
Okay, so before I forget,
right,
the Succubus also has
Succubus.
Succubus has drugs. She's on drugs.
Yes.
She has Grave Lotus, which is +1 strength.
Nice.
And she has Splinter Mind, which is +1 ballistic skill. She has no gun. And +1 leadership. She'll never take a test. So, random.
Yeah.
She has Hyper Swift Reflexes, which is another thing that will get me started. That's the Court of the Red Grief special.
Yeah.
She can never be hit in melee on a 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I like it.
Which, I'd far rather it was a genuine -2 to hit.
No.
What you're saying there is it doesn't affect. A guardsman who's hitting her on a 4 already is still going to hit her on a 4.
Oh, true.
Whereas a Space Marine captain who was hitting her on a 2 will now hit her on a 4.
Yeah, I was about to say I like that because it's simple, but you're right. And a guardsman has got the same amount of attacks, but even worse, a custodes that hits on 2s is less probable to hit.
I liked it at first as well. I thought that's nice, that's characterful, and then I thought, no, it's just a way of getting around or trying to get round the -1 cap to hit limit.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I think
they didn't think that through, did they?
They did not think that through.
You gave her a relic.
Yes, she has the Blood Glaive, which is the Court of the Red Grief special, which is +2 strength, -3, and 3 damage.
Cool. So she's quite hitty. Your Archon's quite hitty. Drazar, of course, is very hitty.
But one of the things they've done a lot I do like. So I'm focusing a lot on things I don't like.
Yes.
One of the things they've done that I do like is they've increased the transport capacity to 11 and 6 respectively.
It's a tiny little touch, but it's so good.
So I now can put Drukhari with the 5 incubi in the raider.
It's a beautiful thing.
Previously, I had to knock a couple of witches off here to put the Succubus in with the witches and Drukhari, or have him walking when everything else was flying.
There are quite a few other good things from a narrative point of view as well. The powerful pain table is simplified, but it also makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
And the combat drugs, the fact that you can pick one or you can just rummage through. I quite like what they've done with the combat drugs as well. It's simple but better. So it's simplified but better is a good thing.
I like what they've done with the heavy weapons, genuinely making them heavy weapons. So they're harder to move and fire. I like that, rather than just making them all assault weapons. Yes. I like that as well.
And bottom line, the way that you can assemble either a real space raid or patrol, the actual foundation of building a Drukhari list now feels more Drukhari.
We did already have that in it.
No, but it was harder to do.
It was hard to do. They made
because
it easier.
Of CP and losing CP in this way, it doesn't nerf you.
No, you had, if you took 3 patrols, you still came out pretty much the same.
And we're deployed for this 2,250 point game of domination. Typhus and the Harbingers are ready to stride forward and bring death and ruin to the Drukhari. The drones are front and centre, along with a Poxwalker screen, and then behind them my Blight Lord Terminators with Typhus and the Plague Surgeon. I've put the Malignant Plaguecaster. Delirium the Corruptor is inside this rhino here, along with the Choppy Plague Marines and their Choppy Plague Marines, Poxwalkers at the back. As you can see, just the tip of the spear bursting forward. Over here, 2 crawlers. This one can't really see anything right now, but he will be able to shoot through there. What we're going to do for ruins is you can shoot through the gaps. But obviously that is a sky tower and that completely blocks line of sight. This is a sky tower completely blocking line of sight. But you could shoot through there. If someone's behind it when I'm shooting this way, I can't see them. Ruins completely. Each of these is its own bit, completely blocking line of sight unless you're in it. And all the terrain, all the rubble is going to count as light cover. So that's why that one's there, because it could spin around and shoot that way or shoot up that way. And then over here on objective number 3 is my Hellbrute and the Plasma squad of Plague Marines. So there's a objective here, and then the third one that I could potentially get is there. And then the other 3 are down here in the Drukhari hold. And SayHiPaul, I haven't got anything in reserve, and SayHiPaul has put stuff in reserve.
Yeah, the mandrakes will appear out of the shadows. The scourges will drop down from the sky. The raider with the witches and the succubus in is arriving on a screaming jet, so that basically deep strikes.
Okay.
And the hellions are coming out of a webway portal.
Wow. So you've got multiple units bursting out from left and right and all over the place. Tip of the spear for you is the Coven. Is the Homunculus Coven.
You see, I don't think of this as a tip of a spear, because that's very much an Astartes, a Legion way of thinking. Whilst we might have been, whilst we might have had a shared objective in coming here, now we're on the battlefield. It's pretty much it's a free for all. So
right, yeah.
I've not put the same level of thought into my deployment as you have into yours. They're just sort of spread out a little bit.
Okay. So basically now you're here, it's whoever gets Typhus gets to drag him off. You're looking to dominate the battle grid as well, to see if you can win, and who takes the prize, Is this Drukhari in the Incubi here? In this one?
So that's Drukhari in the Incubi in that one, yeah.
Yes, and this one is...
That's the Archon and the Court of the Archon.
His bodyguard unit. Reavers over here. Okay. So only about half of your forces, or less than half of your forces, currently on the battle grid right now. Now we need to find out who goes first. So we roll a d6 and you get to choose. So after you, sir. 5, 4. You may choose whether you go first. Match play, you have to go first, but you may choose. Do you know what you want to do? You want to go second?
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, I've never played a game of domination and won going first.
Oh, okay. It's Death Guard, turn 1. The Harbingers advance through the ruins. Rhino advancing on that side, and the first unit of Poxwalkers advancing up, as well as the fetid bloat drones, because they have assault weapons they can advance and fire, and the 12-inch range. Acid that can strip the hull of a starship is pointing down at the racks down there, and there's 4 of my Blightlord Terminators that can see through this gap on this side to see some of them as well. Remember, Death Guard can move and fire their bolt gun weapons at full range, 24-inch range. So there'll be some shots coming in there. Delirium the Corruptor, my spellcaster, jumped out to join Typhus. And I'm currently camped on 3 of the objectives. Remember, in this game, you've got to score more objectives than your opponent for a point and kill more. But right now, there's not a lot I can see, not a lot I can shoot at. However, we're going to start off with a oh, no, spells. We need to do spells. I'm going to put Miasma of Pestilence, -1 to hit, on the Poxwalkers.
Who's that from? Who's that from?
From Typhus.
Should have checked this off camera.
What, whether you're in 24 denial range?
Oh, it's hard to tell because there's a massive building in the way. I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
Okay, normally it's a 6, but I've got -2 to this cast, so that fails.
Yeah.
So Miasma fails, and then Putrescent Vitality from them onto... I put on the Blightlords. And that fails as well, because the null zone pulsing across the battle grid. Right, let's do some bolt gun death. Combi bolters. Hit on 3s, and I reroll 1s because there's Typhus. There's no 1s. Now, this is Strength 4 versus Toughness 4, but the Homunculus is right there, so they're up to Toughness 5. So I'm winning you on 5s. 5, 6 up and runs. And then, look at that. And then 5 feel no pains. 4 feel no pains. And they felt the pain.
They felt the pain.
Now this drone will sneeze on them. It is 2 Plague Spitters, auto-hitting 7 times. Strength 6 versus Toughness 5. Normally would wound on 3s, but because of Prophets of the Flesh, I need 4s. And I reroll 1s because it's a Plague weapon. There are no 1s there. So 5 at AP -1, but you have your invulnerable save, and you fail all of them. Do you feel the pain? Only 2 of them do. We're down to 5 left in that squad, and now we have drone number 2 rinsing and repeating at Chew for 7 more auto hits. Forced to wound. No 1s again. 1 6 up invulnerable save, and then 5s. 3 more melt. And there's only 2 left in that squad, but have I walked into a trap? Because the Drukhari have decided to hold back and go second, let the Death Guard advance. We shall find out. Now we're coming on to this tank here, who's been positioned very cleverly so he can see the Raider. So he's going to fire all of his guns at the Raider. So I've spent a CP on Disgusting Force, getting the mortar from damage 2 to damage 3. SayHiPaul spent a CP on Lightning Fast Reactions, making it -1 to hit. So let's do the mortar. How many shots does it have? Only 2. And these will hit on 4s now. And 1 of them hits, and it is Strength 8. And I reroll 1s because it's a Plague weapon. And it wounds. 5 up.
Night field, 5 up in them.
Yes.
Ooh.
And that's 3 damage. And then 2 entropy cannons. Both of them hit. At strength 8, this could sting. I am going to command point that.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I've got something to play with. It doesn't help me. 1 gets through. Night field. Nope. I get through that. So this is D3 plus 3. So that's 6 damage on top of the 3 I've already done. It's on 1 wound left. Now it's down to the slugger. 4 shots, 4s. 2 of them hit. 5s to wound, because they're toughness 6, right? I'm strength 5.
Yep.
No wounds. It's on 1 wound left. And the Rhino advanced, and I could drop... Yes, that one, which I'd lined up so it could see through the gap of the Venom. We'll do the entropy cannons into the Venom, and the mortar will come up and over and try and destroy this vehicle, because it's units you kill.
Yep.
You've got to try and kill more. See, I think you're definitely going to zip around and score more objectives than me.
You've got to take out my fast mobile unit.
Yeah.
Because you'll kill more, I reckon, but I have the potential to score more objectives.
Yes. So let's try and kill more by dropping another mortar shell on you for two shots.
Not a lot of luck there.
4s. No!
Oh no!
And Nurgle has let me down. Okay, entropy cannons into this thing. They're -1 to hit anyway.
-1 to hit,
Yeah, because of something Dark Eldar shenanigans.
Shield.
I hit you twice.
Oh no.
I shoot through your shields, your flickering shields. Strength 8. Plague weapon. 3-roll 1s. I wound you twice.
Are entropy cannons plague weapons?
They are now. It's beautiful. They weren't before, but now they are.
5+ invulnerable save.
Uh-oh. And that's minimum 4 because it's D3 plus 3. So that's 8 damage minimum.
Yeah.
Basically, that's 4. That's more.
Does it explode? No.
How many is that? The one with your? Oh, that's the one with the incubi in.
It is.
So 6 guys stop, drop, and roll as they try and get out of the transport. Do they get cut down? One of them does. The venom gets cut in half. Drazar and his incubi come out of that unit. And now essentially I've got one more unit that has got range and line of sight. And it's the Hellbrute down here. And I'm going to spend a CP on Fire Fever. +1 to hit and +1 to wound. And I'm in range of the flyer, which is normally -1 to hit. So back to hitting on 3s with a twin las cannon. And they both hit. And it's strength 9, toughness
less than 9.
So it's going to be 2s to win because it's +1 to wound.
Okay.
So it's +1 to hit and +1 to wound for ACP.
Nice.
I know. And I wound twice. I wound twice at AP -3. Do they have an invulnerable save as well? Okay, all right. Good luck, sir.
No.
2d6 damage for 8 damage. Then the missile launcher hits on a 3 and wounds on a 2. And another 5-up invulnerable save or the flyer is in trouble. And you make your 5-up invulnerable save.
So I was due 1.
You do 1 finally because you haven't made very other flickerfields up.
But
How many wounds has it got left? 2.
2, yeah.
That's on 2. The Raider's on 1. You can see what I was trying to do there. If I'd have killed 3 units, at the end of my turn 1, I've killed 1 unit. So you might actually be able to score more and kill more because I killed 1 thing.
Maybe.
But that is, I think in turn 2, that should be dead and the Raider should be dead unless you manage.
You've crippled my mobility.
Yeah, I've slowed you down. Yeah. And plus that will hit on less now. I don't have any. The drone advanced, so it can't charge. I don't have any charges. That is the end of Death Guard turn 1. Those are my opening salvos. You have got a morale test on your racks. I think a 1 will auto pass here because you lost 8.
I did.
And
that's not a 1.
That's going to be a fail because, yeah. Oh, and one of them is left standing, and the Homunculus is trying to look around and maybe scoop up the remaining pieces of them. Was that?
So they can be sewn back together later. It's fine.
Bit of sellotape.
Yeah. Staple gun.
Yeah. Gaffer tape. Fix anything, won't it? So that is the end of Death Guard turn 1 as we go into Drukhari turn 1. Here we are at the end of the Drukhari movement phase, and the Archon and his bodyguard has disappeared off the battle grid. It costs 1 CP. He's back in strategic reserve, so he might not appear until the very end of the battle. And this is where we are for the rest of the raiding force. Now in Match Play Eternal War mission pack, you can't bring anything in turn 1, but in open play, the randomness, the chaos of open play, you can bring things in on turn 1, except those in strategic reserves. So the Scourges and the Helions have dropped in here more than 9 inches away from the Death Guard backlines. The Death Guard have pushed forward in this direction, and the Drukhari have scattered around them. The Homunculus that was here has advanced across onto this objective to get next to his creation, the Pain Engine, and he told the Rack to run over to that ammo dump there. You hold that quarter there. So the Drukhari are currently on 3 objectives. The injured Raider has hopped up here, and the bikers and the aircraft soar through the sky down towards the Death Guard lines, but they have us surrounded. It's very interesting. I like it. It's like a firework explosion. Thoughts on this, SayHiPaul? What have you done?
Okay, well, the Drukhari don't present a front and stand there. They're all based around movement and outmaneuvering and terror tactics. So the Archon specifically, he's seen the fire that's come into these units and decided he does not want to be there because that mortar fire is going to continue.
Yes.
So he has ordered the mortars taken out.
Yes.
Whilst he disappears to safety.
Okay.
So on the subject of the mortars being taken out, so The webway portal has opened, the Hellions have come out of it.
Yeah.
And the Scourges have dropped down from the sky.
Oh, you've got witches as well still in reserve.
I've got witches and I've got mandrakes.
Oh.
They're for later turns.
Okay.
Because you're going to destroy me off objectives. So if I want to score objectives in later turns, I need to turn up on them.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Bit by bit. I like it.
The plan here is to use... It's for him to face the right way, Bob.
It's annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Silly Jeff.
Now they're all facing the right way, you were saying, sir?
Okay, so the plan here is they've all got splinter pods. So they're 2 shots each. There's 30 splinter shots there.
Nice.
I'm going to use potent metallotoxins on the...
vehicle.
On the vehicle. So
yeah,
because on 4+.
Poison weaponry normally wounds vehicles on 6, but Brood in the Pits of Korra is acidic sprays and just eat through metal like nom nom nom.
Yep.
Like in Breaking Bad with the thing, with the body and the
bath, yeah.
Yeah, it's great scene.
Well, there's that.
I like it. Any other thoughts?
So, yeah, depending on how far through I get with that, then there's these guys.
Yes.
If I need to do more damage to that, I'll put the heavy weapons into here and the splinter into the poxwalkers, try and thin those out a bit.
Right.
If I've had a lot of success there, and I think I can take it in melee, then I'll put these into that one. Okay. Because these guys, okay, the damage 2 isn't going to be a thing because it's disgustingly resilient, but their strength 4 or 5, I can't remember, but there's... Okay, they're going to win the 6s, but there's going to be, if it's a successful charge, about 50 attacks.
Yeah.
So...
And they got +1 to their charge. Or reroll charge.
Reroll charges.
Reroll charges, that's right. That's what they do.
So, there's a bit of gambling. I've also got a bit of redundancy in that the injured plane has gone as far as it possibly can. I've got line of sight to that if I need to put more fire into it.
Yeah, I wondered why you brought it into range of the Plague Marines. It's redundancy that way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Also, these Reaver jet bikes...
Yes.
They are biding their time before they can really punch. Turn 2 is when they come into their own, because these guys will advance 10 on top of their move of 18.
And you've got heat lancers on them,
and
right?
They can charge.
Yeah.
So in turns 2+, these are really fast, really, bang. They're going to get where they want and they're going to hit hard.
How many heat lancers in that?
3. But the heat lancers are heavy weapons, so I can't advance to
shoot them.
And shoot.
Yes.
So I decided to hold them back a bit this turn.
Okay.
I did kind of want to take them that way to get some shots I could put into these vehicles.
Okay.
But I can't. I couldn't get the distance.
Right.
So they come here and they're going to fire at this rhino. And if that's gone well over there, then when we do this, maybe the redundancy from the plane goes into the rhino.
If, maybe, possibly.
It's backups, and that's why I always fire the unit that's only got one target first.
It's an Archon's plan. It's a riddle wrapped in an enigma, put inside a melon and fed to a hedgehog. Let's go on to the shooting phase. One more thing, in the command phase, Helions took even more drugs than is healthy for them, so it's doubled the effects of the combat drugs. The combat drugs, remember, at the moment give them +1 to charge, so they'll have +1 attack on the charge, so they'll have +2 attacks on the charge, many attacks if they make that charge.
And the toughness.
And the toughness is, when I shoot back at them.
Yes.
They have toughness 6, and we don't really like them being over toughness 3. Okay, they're really tough, they're really choppy.
I mean, these guys are going to have organs falling out of them and not notice they're already dead.
Right, starting off the shooting phase, potent metallotoxins on the Helions, so poison weaponry works on the vehicles. Rolling a hit. And the poisoned acid will eat through the metal on 4s. Oh. It's AP dash, so 10, 3 up saves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. 7 wounds left. There's a Phantasm grenade launcher as well. D3 shots. 3 shots. Hits on 3s. And this is against my leadership of 8, right?
Yeah.
So they all hit.
So for each one I roll 2d6, and if I beat your leadership, it's a mortal wound.
Right, okay. So that doesn't. It's got you looking for 9s, and that doesn't. And the last one, that doesn't. It's still got 7 wounds left.
The demon did not hallucinate.
From the Red Grief Helions to the Red Grief Relivers, firing at the Rhino. I've spent a CP on, what's it called? Foul Smoke Screen, -1 to hit. And we've got 3 Heat Lancers going into them, and the Splinter Pods going into the Boxwalkers. So 4s to hit.
Ooh. But I'm glad the command point didn't give you anything. It warms the cold heart.
3s to win. That wins, and it's D6 +2. And that's 6 damage. And
No,
these
it's 5, isn't it?
they don't have disgustingly resilient.
What?
They have
Look at it.
They have contagions.
Look at it.
It's contagious.
Look at it.
It's contagious, not resilient. The splintered pods killed a poxwalker. If you're wondering about the extra bits on the rhinos, gang, that's from cromlech.eu, the plague doors and things like that. They're also the same people that do our objective markers and our command point tokens, which you can get from the deploymentzone.tv merchandise page, along with the dice. Right, what we doing now, Paul? Say hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. This Talos is going to fire at that drone.
Okay, what you got?
Twin Drukhari haywire blaster.
Sure.
2d3 shots.
Okay.
For 3. Hitting on, I think he's 3s, he's 4s.
4s.
1.
Okay.
Okay. Strength 3.
Yes.
So winning on a 6, but 4 or more does something special.
Oh.
6 does something even specialer, I think. 6 is D3 mortal wounds as well as a wound.
Oh.
So
I've got to make my save.
Yes, minus 3.
I don't make my save.
Okay, that's D3 damage.
Which becomes 2 damage.
Becomes 2, yeah.
And D3 mortal wounds.
And D3 mortal wounds. For 1.
3 damage in total. The drone is down to 6 left. And he's got more guns?
Yep, twin liquefy gun.
Oh, okay. Sounds painful.
It's a flamer, it's an AP2 flamer basically.
Right.
For 8 hits.
Strength 4, toughness 7. Rise to wound. Does it have an AP?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. 3 AP. I make 1. How much damage?
1 each.
So the drone is on 4 wounds left. Now we're coming across to the unit inside the raider.
Yes.
And you're firing what way now?
Oh, actually, I'm going to be annoying. I'll fire the raider first. 1 dark lance into
him? Into him.
It's going to hit on a 5.
Can you see him? Oh, yes you can. Oh, yes you can.
Can I?
Yes, you can. Yeah, the tip can see. 5s.
Oh, God, no. No,
we can see, look.
No.
Look, that
I
tip.
refuse. I refuse.
No.
I refuse.
You can see him.
I'm refusing.
Shoot me.
I'm choosing that.
It's a 5 anyway.
I'm choosing that.
No, what, that one up there?
That one up there.
Okay. You miss anyway.
Good.
Sorry,
Right.
what was that?
Actually, in my mind, he fired when he was down there and then moved. But that's not how this
Which is
game
why
works.
I'm happy you to shoot at him. Anyway, the guys inside are now firing some at the drone and some at the poxwalkers. The poxwalkers, as you can see, are in that ruin piece, so you can shoot through the. You're not shooting entirely through a building. You're shooting into the building. So there's a lot of splinter death coming in now. Splinter rifles into poxwalkers, 3s to hit.
All count as maximum range because of the splinter rack.
Nice. Poisoned, wounds on 4s. Double nice. 8, but I'm in cover, so I get a 6-up save, and then poxwalkers ignore the wounds on 6s because you shoot off like a limb and they keep stumbling forward. Then the cannon and the shredder fired into the poxwalkers, killing another 5 or 6. There's not very many left. Now we're on to the Talos, firing in his what now?
Stinger pod.
Right.
Assault 2d6.
Okay. And he's got 2 of them, has he?
No, he's got 1.
Oh.
The pod is
Assault 2d6.
Assault 2d6, yeah.
Right.
Strength 5, AP dash.
Hits on 4s. And then 3s to wound then. AP dash, I am in cover. 6s and 6s. 2 more die. 6 left. I say die, but brains.
They're really not alive to start
yes.
with at this point.
But for now, there's no more shots coming into that unit of poxwalkers. This unit of poxwalkers are going to get lit up by the anti-infantry weapon from the Scourges. Their anti-tank weaponry going into a tank. So starting off with the splinter carbines, which are 3 shots each going into the poxwalkers, hitting on 3s, and poison 4+. 6-up cover, none of them, and a 6-up feel no pain. And you kill 6 because there was 8 saves. Now we've got 4 anti-tank weaponry.
Yep.
Which
Drukhari
are
haywire blaster first.
Right.
They're all different, I'm afraid, so it's not quite so easy.
Why did you bring 4 different ones?
Because I like the idea that they just buy they're so rich, they buy the weapon they like the look of. They're not
Nice.
under the command of anyone. They're just they're just dudes who go and buy their favourite things with all the cash they make.
Nice. Okay, so haywire thing.
D3 shots.
Okay, 2 shots.
Okay, it's heavy, so it hits on 4s.
Okay. One of them, right. Haywire.
Okay, so strength is 3, so only wound on a 6, but 4+ does mortal wounds.
Right. So there we go again.
6 is a wound, and it's D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. So
for 1.
1 mortal wound and I make my save.
Okay.
So it's down to 6 left.
Yeah.
Right, what else is in the chocolate box?
Okay, a heat lance.
Heat lance.
Hit on a 4, it's heavy.
Hits.
Strength 8.
Wounds, 5 up demon save. The demon in me. Well,
See, I told you, they belong in a mincer.
That's D6 plus 2 damage as well.
I know.
Blaster, hits on 3s. Oh dear.
I tell you, the mincer, they belong in the mincer and a dark lance.
Dark lance, heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a hit. And strength 8. There's a wound. Demon save. I make my demon save. All the shots bounce. In the end, you killed 6 poxwalkers and took a wound off a plague burst crawler. So the Drukhari raid has dropped in, shooting all over the place. They've done very well killing poxwalkers, but little else besides that. The last thing left to fire is the Razorwing. And the Razorwing is going to take on the poxwalkers. Why the poxwalkers? Why? Shoot the tank. The tank's got 6 wounds left. Shoot the tank. You hit on 5s anyway. Are you going to shoot the tank?
It's got anti-infantry weaponry.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you're shooting the poxwalkers.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, tough. All right, okay. 3d3 shots with a necrotoxin missile.
Right. Wow.
For 7. Hitting on 5s though.
Yeah. Oh.
2. But it's poison wounding on 2+.
Nice. Any AP?
No.
6 up cover, 6 up shrug. 1 dies.
Hooray!
The missiles explode around. Right, what else you got?
2 disintegrator cannons.
See, I'm used to seeing lances on them. That's the thing. 5s to hit, 2 hits.
2.
And
3s because of strength 5.
Okay.
Minus a whole bunch.
AP damage.
2.
6s, shrug. 6s, shrug. You kill 3 poxwalkers. 3 left. A splinter cannon with 3 shots left. Hits. Once. Wounds on it. 4. Doesn't wound. It killed 3 poxwalkers, and that is the end of Drukhari shooting phase. And so the Drukhari shooting phase was as unsuccessful as my shooting phase. We're now onto the charge phase, starting off with the Talus Pain Engine, going into my drone. Yeah, that one's going to this one. The other one's doing a 11-inch into that. I am going to spend the CP to Overwatch with this one here against that Pain Engine, because these auto hit 11 times. 4s to wound, re-rolling the 1s because of poisoned. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 6 and minus 1. 6 4-up saves. And then power from pain.
No, that's the invulnerable save. This is their...
Inured to pain.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh.
2 can play your game.
Nothing with 2. So roll a 4 and you make the charge. You make the charge. The second one's a long bomb charge. You need 11 to get into the poxwalkers. Good luck. Almost. That's a 10. Then we come to the Death Guard backfield. 9-inch charge into the Plague Burst Crawler. Rerollable because of the Cult of Something. That's an 8.
Oh no!
Oh, they fail the charge. And the Scourges have decided not to take the charge on either. They can't hurt the crawler pretty much in close combat. So these guys dropped in, unloaded their weapons. But I am disgusting and resilient and took this attack up my back passage. Now we're going for...
Thing is...
I shouldn't have said that. That wasn't as funny as I thought it was.
It really wasn't.
No.
That was the only way if I'd got that off, I'd have got you off the objective. And I'd have had the objective point as well.
Yeah, you'd had the thing on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't...
Hashtag gutted.
Hashtag you don't take the objective from my back lines. Back lines is better. Right, Pain Engine versus Plague Drone. Pain Engine attacking the drone with chain flails. Double the number of attacks, up to 10.
Yep.
Okay, hitting on 3s or 4s.
3s. Spend a command point on the torturous craft to reroll to wound.
Nice. Strength 6, bleh. Strength 6, toughness 7. 5s to wound.
5s of the reroll.
But the reroll because of the torturous craft?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
Only 3 wounds. 3-up saves. I make my saves.
Yeah, I didn't expect to kill it.
Plague Probe hits back on 3s. And I'm strength 6 versus toughness 6, but you're in contagion range.
Yep.
So your toughness is dropped by 1. So I wound on 3s. Everything wounds. That's minus 2, 1 damage. So 5s. And then your shrugs.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine. So these two machines smash into each other and cause no damage. And at the end of turn 1, the Drukhari are on 3 objectives. The Death Guard are on 3 objectives. The Drukhari haven't killed anything, and I don't have a morale test to take for the Poxwalkers because that's what they do. And actually, I did kill one thing for the Drukhari. There was a venom. There was Drazar's venom that I managed to blow up over here. So blowing up 1 unit gets me a point.
I totally forgot about that.
But it's only 1-0. 1-0, there's still a long way to go. And we move on to Death Guard turn 2. I'm getting excited. Death Guard, turn 2. Here we are after the Death Guard's movement phase, and that took a long time. It's about positioning. I think I can outkill the Drukhari. I certainly can't outscore them on these objectives, particularly when Hellions and Reavers start dashing around all over the place. And the other problem that I have is they're all around me. So it doesn't really matter where they can always zip onto objectives. So what I need to do is start whittling them down. So I've stayed inside my vehicles. The Rhino that was here has gone this way, advancing. Now I could have got them out and charged, but there's a pain engine, there's Drazar, there's the Homunculus, and they've got some hitty sticks. They would have died after I'd have done my thing. This way, at least you've got to charge or crack open a Rhino first, and then there's some guys in front. And by putting it way over the halfway line, I'm pressurizing, SayHiPaul's lines. Poxwalker's underneath that objective, scoring it. He's on it, so he can flame down my drone. I'm trying to push forward, trying to pressurize at the front with some of the mobile units I've got. And then round the back, I spent a CP on the Dead Walk again stratagem on these guys. I managed to put 5 walk back in there. Is it called the Dead Walk again? Yes, it is. And so I'm going to throw Poxwalkers into Hellions. I might be able to kill some. So I'm positioning myself. The Dreadnought stepping out to throw some shots down. The injured Rhino moving around, trying to push up this way a little bit. And I'm out of my contagion range or host of plague range with Typhus and the Malignant Plague Caster for now. Basically, similar to the Drukhari, I'm going to fire and shoot in lots of different directions to try and whittle away units as much as possible. However, I've got some things going for me. That's on 1 wound. There's a Troops Choice down there, just 1 guy. This thing is on 2 wounds. I should be able to kill more than 1 unit this phase, he says. But before we do, they're toughness 6 right now, the Hellions. Poxwalkers are only strength 3, so I need to put putrescent vitality on them. So Delirium will cast a spell, and even with -2 to cast, that's a pass. The Poxwalkers are now up to strength 4, toughness 5.
I'm trying to deny it.
Okay, with your thing. Yeah. So -2, that 10 goes to 8 because of the null zone. You need a 9, and you do deny it.
Perils the what?
You do. Oh yeah, and when it passes, it's an automatic perils for me. I take 2 mortal wounds, and I've left him within range of the surgeon. So I ignore,
right next to him.
I ignore them on 6s. He takes a wound as the surgeon says, "Here you go. Have an Anadol or Panadol or something." What was that?
Penicillin, because it grows out of mould.
Love it. So yeah, the Helm of Spite, when it kicks off, when it works, it stops the spell and causes a perils. Next thing, he's not going to do any more powers. Next thing Typhus is going to do is Miasma of Pestilence up the Poxwalkers. Yeah, I'm going to do it on the Poxwalkers. And that fails. And then he's got Curse of the Leper and Smite. And he's out of range for both of them as well. So the Psychic phase is a bust 1 more time. So let's go on to the shooting phase. So shooting phase, my vehicle, my Feta Bloat drone is going to spit on the pain engine that is in combat with me. And I hit 7 times. Force to wound because of Prophets of the Flesh is 2 wounds at -1, so 2 4-up saves. And you make them both. These guys are not injuring each other. Then the second drone spat at the second pain engine and caused no wounds to that as well. So now we're coming on to the Terminator, spending 2 CP. 1 on virulent rounds, so they're combi weapons. Their bolt guns count as plague weapons, and 1 on Vermid Whispers, so I'm hitting these bikes on 2s. So +1 to hit and plague weapons. So you spent a CP on...
Lightning Fast Reflexes.
-1 to hit. So I'm back to 3s. These are all the bolt guns, but I do re-roll 1s. With the re-roll, that was 17 hits. I'm strength 4, your toughness.
4.
Force to wound, but re-roll ones because it's a plague weapon. I don't get any ones. But I do get 10 wounds. AP dash. What's their save?
4+.
4s. And 2 wounds each. One dies, one takes a wound, then the Blight Launcher hits twice, and at strength 6 will wound on 3s, wounds twice. At -2 is 6 up in Vuns, and each does 2 damage, so 2 died in total from the bolt weapons and from the Blight Launcher. That could have been better. We'll go on to the Plague Marines now. I am in range of the bikes, and I'm going to overcook my plasma.
Okay.
So here's the champion, and he dies. And here's the guy with the normal, and he dies. So both of my plasma guys die. But the reason why I did that is because I wound on 2s, and that's AP -3, 2 damage.
All right.
6 up in Vuns or
6
death.
vulnerable saves.
Okay, so 2 of my guys died and only 1 of yours.
I'll take that.
Then the bolt weaponry fired out and did nothing. So the tank, let's do the tank. This is going to do something, everything from the Plague Burst Crawler into the Reaver jet bikes here.
-1 to hit.
Maybe I should. Yeah, sod it. Here's the mortar. It's 5 shots this time. 4s to hit. I hit you 3 times. I'm strength 8, your toughness 4. I'm winning on 2s, and I'm re-rolling 1s. It's a plague weapon, and that's -2. So 3 6-up saves, each doing 2 damage, and 2 more bikers die. Then the slugger hits 3 times, and at strength 5, wounds once at -1, and you're fine. And then 2 entropy cannons miss. We're down to 4 bikes. And now the Dreadnought is not going to fire at them. The Hellbrute. This thing's on 2 wounds, right? That's on 1. So what I'm going to do is put the missile launcher into the Raider. That's why I moved the Hellbrute round so I could see it. And then the las cannons into the Flyer. And with Fire Fever, I've got +1 to hit. So I'm back to 3s. 2 las cannons hitting on that on 3s. 1 hit. And it was also +1 to wound. And I don't wound.
Come on, Polly.
Yes, okay. I wound. I wound you with a las cannon, 6 up invulnerable save or death on your Flyer. Because normally it's strength 9 versus would wound on a 3, but it's +1 to wound.
It's 5 or 6.
It's +1 to wound with Fire Fever.
There you go.
Winning on a 2. D6 damage, 2 wounds left. Boom goes the Flyer. Trails off into the distance and crashes, and then a missile flies out at the Raider and hits on a 2 and wounds on a 2, and it wounds the Raider, and the Raider needs to make a 5-up Flickerfield save. What'd you get? And you get a 5. Beautiful.
Well,
Look at it, it's a 5.
all right.
Then the Rhino fired in, put 1 wound on the Reaver jet bikes, but it's not over for the Reaver jet bikes. You thought it was over. It's not. Actually, yeah, they're -1 to hit. So I won't fire at them anymore. Coming across to this thing. I need the Raider dead. I've killed 1 thing. So entropy cannons into that. The mortar just has to... I don't know. The mortar's going to have to go and hit this rack down here, because then that'll be 3 things dead, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't think you can't take the risk that you can't kill them.
Yeah. D6 shots into the lone rack for 5 shots. 3s to hit him. I hit him 4 times, 2s to wound him.
Hang on, what's the strength?
8.
All right, yeah.
I wound him 4 times. He's got to make a lot of invulnerable saves. Yeah, because your transhuman thing is only if it's less than 8. The strength weapon is less than 8. Okay, so in Vuns, you make 2, and then it's 2 damage each. So 2 5+ and 2 5+. No. The bombardment comes down and squishes him, and then entropy cannons into the Raider, hit once, and don't wound, and I've spent a CP. So it's the 4 slugger shots that are going to have to do it. We've been here before.
We have.
Last turn. 3s. 1 hit.
Hit.
Don't use that. This'll.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
1 wound at -1.
Oh, I would rather you didn't do it.
-1.
But, you know, you can do it. It was dark. You didn't see it.
It flies through fire, And it turns out that that's the end of my shooting phase because the drones have already fired. The Rhino advanced. So this thing lives on 1 wound left, dodging right, dodging left again. But at least I killed 2 things. Killed the rack and killed the flyer. Nothing left to shoot. Nothing left to shoot anywhere. So we're going to have some charges coming up. The first thing I'm going to do is the Blightlord Terminators are going to try and charge in and hurt that pain engine drone. And hopefully I know I'm opening myself up to a counter charge. So I might not do that. One thing I'm definitely going to do is charge with the Poxwalkers into the Hellions. Would you like to Overwatch?
Nah.
No?
Well, ordinarily, yes. But,
Brains.
But CP.
Yeah, you're down to 6 already. You've been spending them like popcorn. I haven't spent very many.
When do you ever use popcorn as currency for anything?
At the cinema?
No, you use currency to acquire popcorn. When do you ever spend popcorn?
At the strip joint?
Good answer. I'll take it.
Poxwalkers charge in there. I am going to charge in with the Terminators, but perhaps not as many. Because I can go through the wall of a ruin. I'm infantry. I can just smash through it. I mean, these guys are basically walking JCBs. Well, not JCBs, but they're like, getting charged by a plague marine in cataphractic plate. You're going to need a plaster. At the end of the charge phase of the Blightlord Terminators end up like that. I was mainly concerned about getting the Flail of Corruption in there. And he's within half inch of someone who's within half inch who is attacking the thing, and everyone's within 2 inches of it. So we're okay for what's it called? Coherency. And he's 3 inches away from the plague surgeon, so that everything's good there. Everything's fine. I'm fine. How are you? Right, now we're coming back to the Poxwalkers. I'm going to pile in, but I've spent 1 CP on the Wrathful Dead, so I get to re-roll a hit, and a CP on Mutant Strain. After piling in, we look like this. I managed to get 12 into combat, which is 24 attacks. I'm hitting on 4s. But with the Wrathful Dead, I re-roll all hits. This is a Harbinger stratagem. This is a typhus kind of thing. They're really, really angry Poxwalkers. He's trained them. Right, SayHiPaul. After rolling a hit, I got 4 6s.
Yeah.
That does mortal wounds to you.
Yes.
And 2 1s. That does mortal wounds to me.
Yes.
And I'm currently strength 3 and your toughness 6 because you took all the drugs.
Took all the stuff.
6s to wound.
All the sweeties.
So you get 4 saves. What's your normal save for the Space Elves?
5 up.
Okay.
These guys.
Okay.
They get +1 for being on the board. So 3 die in total.
So yeah, because it's 2 wounds each. Plus, 3. I killed 3. And in return, 2 of my Poxwalkers die. I'm not going to consolidate any further because I'm a troops unit. And I'm on that objective. And I'm aware that you've hit and run and you could drop out again. But you have to kill every single one of these to get that objective off me, which I'm sure you can. But now is your chance to fight back. What?
You're not doing the other charging units.
First we do the other charges. We come over here. Flail of Corruption. 3 attacks. You double them because that's what the flail does. I hit you on 3s. And I reroll. What's that? That's the thing. And I'll reroll 1s because Typhus, the unit's in 6 aside. Typhus. This is strength 5. Drops your toughness down to 5.
5.
So I'm wounding you on 4s.
No. Yes.
And I reroll 1s. And there's 2 wounds at -2 from the flail. You fail them both. That's 4 damage. So 5 up in their veins?
Yep.
It takes 2 wounds. And then there's the dude with the axe who will hit you. And he hits twice. And axe is +2 strength. So strength 6, toughness 5. And it's a plague weapon. I do another wound at -2, 1 damage. 1 damage. And you shrug that as well. Has he got 2 wounds left or something? Has he taken any wounds?
He's taken 2 wounds.
Just 2?
Just 2.
Damn it. And those are my charging units. So it's defenders fight first. You're going to start with the pain engine.
Yep.
So 10 attacks against what now?
I'll hit the drone, the thing I started fighting, and I will continue to fight it.
Okay. 3s to hit with 10 attacks. 5s to wound. And you wound twice. 3s.
Once.
I'll do it again. I'm fine because it's AP dash, right?
Yep.
So they're locked into combat there. I'd have hoped he would have been dead, but he's got 5 wounds left, that pain engine. Now we can pile in with some Helions. So the Helions pile in. There's 12 left. They have 3 attacks each.
Yeah.
Which is 36. Plus 1 for the Heliarch, 37.
He's got a different weapon, so I'll have to do him separately. So
Okay.
it's 33 of the regular ones with the Hellglaives.
Okay. And because you were charged, you're not getting your bonus attacks.
No, it's the only rule I've seen that just says if you charge or heroically intervene. It does not say if you're charged, which I like. I like that.
But if you would have charged me, that would be 5 attacks each.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The unit starts with 15. That's what I would have had against the tank.
Yeah. But the tank ran away and you're fighting zombies instead. So here's all the Hellglaives hitting on 3s. Strength 4, toughness 4, force to wound. It would have been +1 toughness if you'd have let me get my spell off. Now, each of these is 2 damage each. They don't have disgustingly resilient poxwalkers, but they do ignore wounds on 6s. So I need to do 2 6s, 2 6s, 2 6s, 2. I don't make any of those 6s. The Heliarch killed more, 2 more. I lost 12 poxwalkers. Brutal. And then I just remembered my drone, which has got 4 attacks versus the engine. 3s. I hit twice. It's strength 6. I'll wound on 3s, and it's a plague weapon.
No, strength
I'll wound
6.
on 4s.
You won't. Yeah, 4s.
Yeah. Those are -2, 1 damage each.
Take a wound! Take another wound!
It's down to 4 left. This is going to take me forever. That's the end of all those fighting. Big ruckus in the middle. Big ruckus over there. We've got some morale to take. Not on the Poxwalkers, though. You lost 3 or 2, so they're fine.
3.
But the Reavers could be in trouble. Helions will break if you roll a 6. Don't roll a 6. You don't roll a 6. Reavers, however, you lost quite a few.
I need a 1.
Really? How many did you lose? 4, 5?
4, 9.
Right, it says 4 left. 1 and 2 plus... Anyway, roll a dice, figure out. 2 plus 5 is 7. That's got to be a pass.
I'm cool.
You've got to be a pass.
Yay.
So you hold morale. Stuff happens all over the place. They get whittled down. Flyer goes. Explosions, death, destruction. But at the end of all of that, I think I only killed 2 things. I killed the flyer. I killed your rack.
Plague Marines? I lost 2.
I lost 2. Leadership 8. So for all a 6 I still pass. Did I only kill 2 things? Did I only really kill 2 things?
Killed 2 things.
I only really killed 2 things.
2 more than I killed last turn.
It's true, but okay. It's a long way from over. The Drukhari continue to dance their dance of death around the Death Guard, but we rather like a dance of death because we are the Death Guard. Drukhari turn 2. So here we are at the end of the Drukhari movement phase, dancing all the way around the Death Guard. We have the Raider with the Witches coming in here, and with Murderous Descent stratagem, they can get out of the vehicle even after it moved, and it looks like they're lining up a charge into these Plague Marines here. So Plague Marines are going to be picked upon. Helions can fall back and fight, not fall back and shoot. They were engaged with the Poxwalkers. They're jumping up and over. Looks like they're going to engage the Plague Burst Crawler and the Scourges on this objective, and going to engage the Poxwalkers. So we have engagements all along this side of the line. Round here, the shadows have peeled back to reveal the Mandrakes, and we have Drukhari, and they're all Drukhari, Incubi, Homunculus, Drazar, everyone looking to charge the Rhino. Actually, the bikes are on that objective.
Yes.
There's still the Heat Lancers there.
Yes.
So the bike zip back on the objective.
Yes.
Heat Lancers crack it open, then charge.
Yes.
Right, okay. So you're dancing all around me here.
Yeah, I've got some redundancy as well. I can put the Lance in there if I need to, and maybe some splinter shots.
Yeah, talking about this thing, that Fire Fever strategy that I did on the Hellbrute to fire at the 2 things, +1 to hit, +1 to wound, you can only use that if you fire at 1 thing. So I'd have put everything at the flyer, and the thing that I fired at that didn't even hurt it anyway. So I'm glad it didn't, because that would have made me feel bad. But must remember, Fire Fever only works if you target 1 thing. So you're all the way around the edges. You're outnumbering me on objectives already. You only need to kill 2 things to draw me for killing. You kill 3 things, and let's not forget there's just 3 Poxwalkers tucked in this ruin here. But you kill 3 things, and then you'll go ahead on the points, because right now it is only 1 point to 0 as the Drukhari try and pick apart the Death Guard. So we're starting with the Talos firing its liquefier gun into the Terminators?
Yep, and the haywire into the drone.
Brilliant, okay. Liquefier gun. 4s, 1 hit. And
No, that's 2d6 hits.
Oh. Okay. Now 4s.
Winning on 5s.
And it's only strength 3.
Strength 4.
Okay.
2 at -2.
Right. 2 at -2.
Yeah.
4 up and runs? I'm okay.
Yeah, you're
right,
good.
okay. And then the haywire into the thing.
2d3 shots.
Right. 4 shots.
4 shots. It's -1 because it's heavy.
Right. But,
Oh, I forgot. I regain a wound at the start of turn. Sorry.
Brilliant. 1 hit?
One
Because it
hit.
normally hits on 4s.
Yeah.
It's haywire.
4. So that's 1 mortal wound and that's failed to wound.
Failed.
1 mortal wound, that's it.
1 or 2? How many is this drone on? It's down to 3 now. Now the Reaver jet bikes are targeting the Rhino. 3 heat lancers.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pop my smoke one more time. They're going to get charged, so let's try and keep it alive. 4s to hit with these 3 heat lancers because I popped smoke. 2 hits this time. 3s to wound. Come on, boy.
Don't do that, mate.
What do you mean you don't do that?
You know I don't do that.
I know you don't, but you should.
No, because all it is statistical manipulation of the highs and lows. And I don't like that. I like the highs and lows. That was a low. It's good. It's part of the story.
So one of them fails to bore its way through the tank. The other one does. I don't get a save. It's D6 plus 2 damage. 4 damage. And you could have... Okay. Let the dice tell the story. 6 wounds left on the Rhino. Oh, the splinter stuff did nothing from the Reaver. Dark Lance will hit on a 5. And it misses. What else you got?
Right, 2 command points on potent metallotoxins for everyone in there, firing at the Rhino.
Ooh. Those CPs dropped the Drukhari down to 4 command points left, and then we fired, and the splinter weaponry came in, wounding on 4s, causing 4 wounds, and I make all the saves. And then 1 from the splinter cannon came in, which is -1, and I fail that save, and it does 2 damage, dropping the Rhino down to 4 wounds. So the smoke cloud around that vehicle, keeping it safe. Some shots into combat over here from the Talos Pain Engine. They're dancing a merry death, but they're spread thin, the Drukhari. So you're choosing to fire the Mandrakes at the Rhino. You're thinking about lining them up to take on the Poxwalkers underneath the objective there.
2 can't see the Rhino, so they will fire at the Poxwalkers.
Okay, so the rest of the shots into the Rhino, forced to hit because of the smoke. And the Bale Blaster strength 4, so winning on 5s. But 6s do mortal wounds in addition. So there's 3 saves there at AP -1.
No.
And a mortal wound. What?
1 save. Strength 4.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, 1 save.
1 save.
What am I doing? So I fail that save, so that, and the mortal wound in addition, there's 2 wounds left on the Rhino. And then you've got the 4 shots into the Poxwalkers on 3s, and wounding on 3s. And 2 wounds, and I make a 6, so only 1 of them falls over. And Paul's desperately looking around there to see if there's anything else that can fire at the Rhino. I mean, this is why I put it there to be a problem to you, and popping a smokescreen on you. You'd like to fire the Scourges down at it, but you can't see through that ruin and completely blocking line of sight. So we're onto the Stinger Pod.
This is a long shot at best.
On the Pain Engine.
Yeah.
You said you want to fire at the 2 Poxwalkers, really?
Well, yeah.
But you need this open so you can charge it, otherwise the Plague Marines will jump out of there and go booger 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 on you instead.
They'll booger booger me.
Yeah, booger booger. Okay, so Stinger Pod. 5s to hit.
4 shots.
4 shots, okay. 4 shots.
5s to hit.
1 hit. Strength.
5.
It wounds. AP.
Nothing.
And I make the save.
Yeah.
The Rhino, wreathed in foul smoke, absorbs the firepower of the Drukhari. And so we move up to this end of the battle grid where the Helions, where the witch cult is, the Helions and the Scourges. What are we doing with the Scourges, sir? I know you positioned to that tank there, but you're also looking at this crawler, which has got 6 wounds left. That one is uninjured.
The guns, I think, the guns are going to go into that, the heavy weapons into that.
Right.
And the splinter fire into the Poxwalkers, I think.
Okay. Then we shot some poison weaponry, and the Poxwalkers, they were not long for this world. So the anti-tank weaponry now coming at the crawler. Starting off with the...
Dark Lance.
Okay. It hits, and it wounds on a 4.
Not that.
No. You have a blaster.
Blaster, yeah.
Hits on a 3. Wounds on a 4. It wounds.
Goodness me. Here
Demon save. I failed my demon save. D6 damage. That
1.
That 2 becomes 1. I've got 5 wounds left. Haywire thing?
Haywire thing for the number of shots for 1.
Hits.
Hits.
Strength 3. Wounds.
It's on a 6. That's D3 mortal wounds and a save required.
So the save fails.
And does D3 damage for 2.
Yeah, that's 3 damage becomes -1.
Yep.
Is 2 damage. Puts me down to 3 wounds remaining and D3 because you got a 6 on the haywire. It worked! It worked! No way of knocking down mortal wounds. It's just strict damage. The tank is dead. Does it blow up? Please don't blow up because my HQs are right on the other side of the wall.
It blew up.
Oh. Right, that's a 6-inch radius, so all of my HQs get hit. Typhus takes D3 mortal wounds. And there is a plague surgeon nearby. And he takes a full 3. My malignant plaguecaster on 3 wounds left takes D3 mortal wounds. Stop it now. I need to make 1/6 of my malignant plaguecaster. Delirium the Corruptor falls. Oh, he falls. A bit of shrapnel sticks in his head and he falls over. And then the surgeon? Okay, at least you didn't roll a 6, 6 or 6. That would have just been rude. And the surgeon takes a couple of wounds as well. So Typhus loses 3 wounds. Surgeon loses 2 wounds. Now you're Helions. Now I need to roll a 6. I rolled a 1. And so the tank detonates and pieces of shrapnel flying every direction, injuring all of my characters and taking out Delirium, the Corruptor. Then finally we came across to the witches here who poured their firepower into Plague Marines in cover. And still managed to strike a wound off one of them. And the disintegrator cannon on the raider took a couple of wounds off the rhino there. So a smattering of firepower on the edges, preparing themselves for a charge. And now we're in the charge phase. So charging, where are we starting, sir?
Oh.
You've already killed 3 things, by the way. I only killed 2. You got the Poxwalkers, the tank, and the Plaguecaster. So you're going to get a point for that.
And I'm on more objectives than you.
Yeah.
So I think I'm getting 2 points this turn.
I think you're getting 2 points this turn.
So, right. The Raider and those 3 units are all charging those.
Okay, so it can be 9 from the Succubus and from the Witches, right?
Yeah.
And you can re-roll because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Okay, good luck. I won't Overwatch. Okay. So who's going first? Witches. Witches. They're in. Succubus is not in.
Re-rolls.
She's in.
The Raider.
Raider might struggle. No, it's not in anyway. So we'll move some models. And they end up there. Lovely little rule that's come in from Deep Strike. And with a strap, they can disembark from Deep Strike. Then a reroll and charge in from Deep Strike. Juicy stuff. Moving on to the Helions. Charging Typhus and the Plague Surgeon.
Yeah.
This is 7 inches. Good luck. And that's a 9-inch. Then the Helions end up like that, surrounding my HQs, but it's not over. We're going on to the Mandrakes. They're charging the Plague Burst Crawler, and because he's on one side of a barricade, you only need a 7-inch charge. And they make that charge as well. That's a 9. They'd have made it even if it was 9 inches away, but if you're on one side of a barricade, so long as the unit is within 2 of the barricade, you're okay. Or 2 inches instead of the normal 1. Everything down here as well, Drazar, the Incubi and the Pain Engine, they're all charging that poorly Rhino 1, 2 wounds left. And after charging, it looks like this. That's it for the charging units. The Death Guard are surrounded. Are they resilient enough to take this kind of fury? Let's find out in the fight phase. So we're starting with the Helions.
Yep.
They're piled in around Typhus.
Yep.
Everyone is eligible to fight him. What you got?
44 attacks with Hellglaives, then there's the Stoneclaw.
Oh, mama. Okay, 44 attacks.
I don't have 44 dice, so we're going to have to do 22 twice.
Okay. 3s to hit, or do
3.
they hit on 2s in turn 2?
3. Oh, turn
2.
We're in turn 2, aren't we?
Still.
Are we?
Yes.
Is it only turn 2?
Yeah. I know.
Wow. Wow.
3s to hit. And this is winning on 5s, because your strength 4 and toughness 5. And these are normally damage 2, but they all become damage 1 because I'm a Plague Marine.
Statistically resilient.
But 6s to wound with Dark Eldar are +1 AP, right?
Yeah, so these are -2.
Right.
And these are -1.
2 at -2 are 4s. And 3 at -1 are 3s. I make them all.
Good.
You do that again.
Yep.
Come on, Typhus, you can do it. 3s to hit. That was a pretty disgusting roll. It wasn't good.
It was
5s
not.
to wound. Looking for those 6s. Oh, there's 4 6s. So those are 4-up saves, those 6s.
And the 2 5s. Yeah.
And that's right. Okay, the 2 5s. 3s. I fail them both. I've got a 6-up shrug in a minute. These are all 4s. Okay. You don't use command points. I do.
And you do.
Oh no, actually I can't command point that because this is a... Oh, it's an armor save.
It's an armor save.
Yeah, it's armor save. Yeah.
You still failed it.
Right.
Woohoo!
So all of these does 1 damage. So I need to make 2 6s. Oh, drop dice down. And then he's got a stun claw. Come on, Typhus. Typhus falls. And what? And? What do you mean and?
Command point.
Yes.
Pray they don't take you alive.
What?
Your entire army, I don't know if this even affects you. You might be immune to it, but I don't care. I'm spending it anyway because it's cool. Your entire army for the rest of the game.
Yes.
-1 to combat attrition tests.
-1 to combat attrition. Well,
Are you immune to that?
We are immune.
But I don't care. It's cool. Whilst you're not caring, you're still feeling, oh, heck, lads, it's a bit of dodge this, isn't it? If I weren't conditioned to be immune to this, I'd be really worried.
You know that, genius. Typhus has gone. My malignant playcaster is gone. SayHiPaul is dancing. The spells have collapsed. The null zone. I think I need to pay to interrupt. I think the witches over here against my Plague Marines are going to be painful. So let's pay to interrupt here and hurt. They have a 4-up invulnerable save in close combat, don't they?
They do, and they're also lightning fast, so -1 to hit.
Okay. Right, I'm spending 3 CP, a couple to interrupt, and 1 more for trench fighters, because there's 5 guys there. They get an extra attack with their plague knives. The sergeant's gone because of overheating plasma weaponry. So 4s to hit with their knives. I hit 5 out of 15. But I'm strength 4 and your toughness 2 because of contagion range. So 2s to wound. And they're all AP -1 damage. Basically 4-up and vulnerable saves because you're a witch and close combat. Yes.
The combat doctrine of the witch is armour is useless. The way to survive is not being there when the blade falls.
Well, let's see how many were there. It looks like 2 were.
2 were there.
So killed 2. Now we're on to the Succubus. She has
6 attacks with the blood glaive.
Okay. So she hits on 2s. Right. And the blood glaive is what? Strength.
I've just forgotten. I think it's plus. No, it's +2. So she's strength 5 with the blood glaive.
Okay. So
4s.
4s to wound.
-3.
-3. So I need 6s.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't make any. How much damage?
3 each.
Which becomes 2 each, which will kill 3 of them, leaving 2 left.
Yep.
Now we're on to the witches, starting with the Hecatrix, which is the sergeant equivalent. You've got +1 strength, so you've gone from strength 3 to strength 4. It doesn't help you on toughness 5.
Yep.
But you've got Grave Lotus.
Grave Lotus.
So you're hitting on 2s.
Hit on 2s,
nice. And, okay.
This is an agonizer, so it's poison 4+.
Nice.
Reroll 1s because she's next to Succubus.
Yeah. 3 wounds, AP.
Minus a bunch.
Okay.
-3.
I failed 2. How much damage?
1 each.
1 each.
Yep.
So 1 more dies. We're down to 1 Plague Marine left, and there's 7 witches. You've got a what now?
One of them's got razor flails.
Right.
Which gives you double your attacks, basically.
Right. 2s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strength is 4, so 5s. Reroll the 1 because she's next to Succubus.
Right.
No, nothing there.
Okay. Any more specialty weapons there?
No.
Okay. So 6 normal girls or men or whatever they are.
4 each, that's 24 attacks.
4 attacks each?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hitting on 2s. Winning on 5s. Rerolling 1s. And 6s are AP -2.
Yeah, the 5s are AP.
So there's 2 6s, which is a 5-up save. The last Plague Marine is dead before I mess with all of this. You wipe them off. You take that objective from me. So both of the Witch units make victims of their targets. The Mandrakes went slamming into the Plague Burst Crawler and took 2 wounds off of it. And now we're around here. Drazar, the Master of Blades, is attacking the Rhino.
Yep.
And you're doing the
dual wielding.
Dual wielding. So it's 5 attacks or 10 attacks.
10 attacks.
Because both of them are wounded on 5s.
Yep.
Okay. So 2s to hit. Dual wielding. 8 hits there. And now you're wounded on 5s. But these are -3, 2 damage.
Yep.
Wow. So 3 6-up saves. I fail all of them. That's 6 damage. That is a dead Rhino.
More to explode?
Well, I've got 6 CPs left. And you've got 2. It cost me 2 CP to blow up that Rhino.
What's this, D3? Or?
I don't know. Let me check. Yes, I'm going to pay to auto-explode. It does D3 mortal wounds because I've just measured everywhere. I'm going to hit your talus as well. I'm just out of range of the Poxwalkers.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
D3.
thing.
2 CP though.
Right, that totally fits with what you've just driven it forward into the jaws of the enemy to blow it up.
Yeah, we've primed it ready to blow. So D3 mortal wounds on Incubi.
It's 3 to Incubi.
That's 3. See how it feels? It's horrible. And they've got 1 wound each.
Yeah.
Drazar. He takes 2. The Pain Engine. He takes 1. What?
Shrugs.
And shrugs it.
No, he doesn't.
Homunculus. He takes 2.
Shrugs 1.
Shrugs one of them. I'll put 1 next to him. These are the... And then the Pain Engine over there. Takes 1. Doesn't shrug it. Right, explosion. I'll get them out that side. 4 wounds, 4 wounds, 6 wounds, 6. He starts off on 7 wounds.
Yeah. What did you say after I told you that, Winters?
It was an adult word.
It was an adult word that you can't repeat.
7 guys inside. I don't want to roll any 1s. Drop dice don't count because then they'll die in the explosion themselves. No 1s. Look at that.
Nice. It was as if you planned it.
Explosions everywhere. Explosions to the right of me. Explosions to the left of me. You can consolidate with Drazar. He can fight twice against eligible units, but that wasn't an eligible unit because you didn't declare him a target of the charge. But he can batter things twice. So you can move him forward. These units as well can pile in and consolidate, but they won't be able to fight because...
Don't care.
Ooh, the Pain Engine's coming in deep. I like it. Is there any more?
It might cost me. But if you don't kill him, then I don't get shot up by... These units don't get shot up and charged by them.
Oh, right, yeah. So if I don't batter my way through the Pain Engine, I can't just snowball into them. Yeah. I like it. So you're keeping them safe behind. Well, as soon as you can't fight me...
I've just realised I didn't actually do the pile in move before I rolled the dice. Is it alright if I just pile them in now?
Yeah. You moved them, but you didn't consolidate.
Yeah, I forgot to do the thing.
So I think what I'm going to try and do is consolidate, pile and do stuff around here and get more dudes into close combat against your drone. And I can't pile them in any closer because there's a couple of Poxwalkers there that I need to move. And the guys can't budge. They're trying to budge the Poxwalkers out of the way, but you can imagine them going, brains.
No, see, that's the kind of thing on... Not wishing to do a second plug for my channel, but because I do what I call narrative common sense,
yes.
In that scenario, I'd say, do you know what? The Terminators can just trample the Poxwalkers to death and move them through.
Yeah. You can plug your... what is the name of your YouTube channel? I forgot what it's called.
SayHiPaul.
Hi, Paul. What's the name of your YouTube channel?
SayHiPaul.
Hi, Paul. What's the name of it? So spending the CP on Vermid, Whispers. The guy with the flail is hitting you. This means I hit on 2s, +1 to hit. And I hit 4 times. I'm strength 5, you're toughness 5 because of my contagion. I'm wounding you on 4s. And I reroll 1s. And I don't wound you. So there's the axe dude who will strike. He hits. He will wound you on 3s because of contagion range. No 4s because profits of the flesh. 2 wounds at -2, 1 damage each, and you've got 4 left. Okay, so I did nothing to the Pain Engine. The Pain Engine battered the drone back, causing 3 wounds, 3 saves. I lose 2 wounds. I'm down to 1 wound left. I still get to fight back on 3s. And
He's still hitting on 3s on 1 wound?
yeah, he's got 9 wounds.
Ah!
It was 10 wounds. They dropped it a wound so it doesn't degrade now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. And a few moments later, 2 5-up saves.
It's all this
From the
Nurgle.
drone. You fail both of them and feel no pains. And you make one of them. So you're on 3 wounds. I'm on 1 wound with my drone. We fought back here. It's the tank to go. Oh, and my Plague Marines. Okay, so the tank tried to run over the mandrakes. Nothing happened. They dodged easily out the side. Now we're across to the last fight, which is my Plague Marines against this Talus Pain Engine, which came piling through to protect the characters behind. I'm spending a CP on Creeping Blight, which means that on 6s to wound, it's AP -4. So I'm hoping, I know you've got a 6-up invulnerable save.
Yeah.
But you only have a 6-up invulnerable save, so maybe I can do enough wounds to get through. Right.
It'll be interesting to see.
Flail, he has 2 attacks. He has an extra attack because he's got 2 melee weapons, which gets him to 3 attacks. So it's 6 attacks in total.
So hang on. You're telling me that owning a Plague Knife gives him an extra attack with the flail?
What it says in the book is if a Plague Marine has 2 close combat weapons, they gain an extra attack. The flail is an additional weapon.
All right. Go on, I'll let you up.
Like a bubot of that. So he has 3 attacks, which you double when using the thing. It's a thing, honestly. 3s to hit. I hit you that many times. I'm strength 5 with the flail. You're toughness 5 because of contagion. So I wound you on 4s.
Yep.
I reroll 1s. And they're AP -4. That's AP -2.
All right, the AP -2.
AP -2, yeah. Okay, the thing.
Saved.
You saved. And then the 2 6-up and vuns. And that's 2 damage each. So
3.
takes 3 wounds. How many's got left?
3 left.
Okay. Power Fist on the Champion. Champion. 3 attacks.
Yep.
He hits on 4s. He misses every single one. Right, the last specialist weapon in that squad is my Bubotic Axe and Mace Contagion. The rest all are Plague Knives. So basically got 3 punchy ones and 4 non-punchy ones.
Yeah, this is totally going to work.
Mace is -1 to hit. I hit twice. Strength +2, so strength 6. Your toughness 5. I normally win on 3s, but 4s...
No, I'm toughness 7 at the moment because I'm within 6 inches of the Homunculus.
Well, then it drops down to 6. So strength 6 versus toughness 6,
6
4s to wound.
4, yeah.
-1, 3 damage.
What?
Yeah, that's why it's unwieldy. Okay, 1 gets through. 3 shrugs. It's on 1 wound left. Now a Plague Knives. 4 dudes. 2 Plague Knives, 3s to hit. That's as cocked as you like. Right, this is 5s to wound you.
Yaha.
6s are AP -4. They're AP -1.
Okay, the AP -4 fails. The AP -1 ones. 3.
3 shrugs.
I got to pass 3 shrugs.
3 shrugs.
This was imprudent.
And I rip your engine in twain. Does it blow up? Does that blow up?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't expect that to happen.
Me either.
I've basically burned through all my command. I got 2 CP left. You've got 2 CP left. That is the end of turn.
I've totally forgotten
2.
that you said at the start of the game they were all kitted out for close combat.
Yeah, the 2 ones here are the punchy ones. The ones that you annihilated over there were the shooty ones with the plasma that detonated in my hands. However, I don't think there's any morale to take. You lost a couple of witches, you're okay. A couple of Helions, you're okay. Yeah, no morale to take for me anywhere as well. But you outnumber me on the objectives. You're on all of them.
No, you're upsecking that now.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm upsecking that, but you're on that one, that one, that one, and that one.
Okay.
So I'm on 2, you're on 4. And you killed 28 things and I killed 1 or 2.
You've killed 3. How many did I kill?
Well, at the end of this battle round, I killed that
I've killed
and
4.
2 things in my turn. You killed 4. The Malignant Plaguecaster, Typhus.
I've killed 5.
Over there, you killed a lot. Basically, you get 2 points. You killed more and you score more. So it was 1-0 to the Death Guard. Now it's 2 points to 1 in favour of the Witches. And when we look through the battle grid, I've got a chunk in the middle, look.
Yeah.
And I've got this, which is locked up in combat. And I've got a Hellbrute over there. That's it. Apart from the chunk and the bits around the edge, I don't have much left. And you've got troops everywhere. But you're right. These are single units. That's on 1 wound. There's only 4 left over there. But I can't mortar them anymore because I'm locked up in combat with the Mandrakes over here. So you keep giving me hard choices after hard choices after hard choices, as it's 2 points to 1 for the Drukhari. And we go into Death Guard turn 3. Here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. We've lost our commanders and they have us surrounded, but now we need to make them bleed. The Plague Surgeon has fallen out of combat here, and so has the drone. I've been locked up with that drone for too long, and I can't consolidate in with the Blightlord Terminators because the drone was in the way. By moving them out of the way, when it comes to the fight phase, I can pile in, hopefully kill it. And the drone has gone under here on 1 wound. So I'm contesting that objective. Yes, there's troops in there that can just get out and score that objective. But then the troops are finally out of the transport. And I move the other drone that was there down there. The intention is unlock myself from here, kill that raider which should have died ages ago, and then spit acid all over them and make them run and make them scream. That's the plan. The other unit that was inside the Rhino have got out and gone that way. They're going to charge the Helions, and the last unit pushing up to close in on Drazar and the last of the Incubi. I'm basically like a firework exploding in the sky, going in all sorts of different directions to try and push the Drukhari back. He's going to need to stay on some of these objectives to start outnumbering me on all of these objectives as the time ticks by. Maybe I can push the Drukhari further and further off the battlefield, because after all, their work here is done. Typhus has been dragged back to the experimental labs, where he's not going to have a very nice time. And I wonder what would happen in... I mean, it is the webway, but that is a Nurgle disease you're poking around. He is the host to destroy eyes. Anyway, shooting phase. We're coming across the tank. It's a blast weapon on top, so I can't fire it in. It doesn't have the bubonic Astartes keyword, so it doesn't get an inexorable advance, so I can't fire it in. It's just the entropy cannons and the stubbers that can fire. And they made their invulnerable saves after I fired in. So we're coming to the close combat punchy unit. There are still 4 Marines in here with just bolt guns. Incubi have a 3-up save, right?
Yep.
So I think what I'll do is fire the bolt guns up here. That's got 1 wound left.
Yep.
That sergeant equivalent's got 2 wounds.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to mention things to people. I did Curse of the Walking Dead thing again.
Yes, indeed.
And I got 5 Poxwalkers back. So that unit of 2 have gone back up to a unit of 7
nice.
Standing below that objective. So I'm on 2 CP, you're on 2 CP. Let's fire all the bolt guns up at the Raider, which should be dead. 3s to hit. 5s to wound with a 4-up save. And I do 2 wounds. If you could fail one of these, that would be lovely. And you failed one of them. Kabooey? It does blow up. So you blow up my drone. It does D3 mortal wounds. It'll do D3 to this one as well, the uninjured one. There's so many explosions.
I know.
So that's down to 8 wounds left. You get the guys out before it blows up.
Yep.
They're out of range, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You measure full to base, yes.
How many dudes are inside there?
10.
Okay. Ones?
Nah.
They all get out okay. And it looks like this. Cabalites all managed to squeeze out onto that objective there. Then the Rhino opens up with its combi bolters on 5s and hits once. And wounds once. And you spent a CP on Hunt from the shadows.
Yep.
So they get an extra AP save in cover. So their 5-up becomes a 3-up now.
Yeah.
And so 1 3-up save from the combi bolter. Oh dear. And then I'm going to spurt all over you. Number of auto hits. 10. Which wound on 2s. And reroll 1s. And that's 10 wounds at -1. So 10 4-up saves. That's
4.
4. 4. So 5 in total have died. Right, and now I'm getting cheeky. I'm spending a CP on the Lightning. So what happens is you pick 3 Death Guard that are equipped with grenades. So the 3 here that don't have bolt guns. And the grenades become pistol 6.
So it's not a type grenade anymore, so it doesn't matter that you're firing 3 of them.
Yes,
So
because grenades you could only chuck 1.
You could even throw a 4th, because then the unit is only throwing 1 grenade.
You're correct, yeah. The other thing about it is, if I was actually in engagement range, they auto-hit 6 times. 18 auto hits, but I'm not in engagement range. I still have to shoot you. So, but before I do that, I'm going to shoot the bolt guns in it, yeah?
Yeah, right.
And they hit on 3s. And at strength 4, toughness 3, because contagion is a thing.
Yep.
I'm wounding you on 3s.
It's a beautiful thing.
Only twice. And you're in cover. Are they infantry?
They are, okay. Sadly.
Okay. So they're fine.
Yep.
Then the Blightning. 18 shots. 3s to wound. The thing is, they're still plague weapons. That was all. Was that one? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, you get the reload.
They're still plague weapons. So, because it just changes it from pistol. That was a thing, and that was a... They were good. Like that. That's what it was. Because it changes it from pistol, from grenade to pistol, but they still use it.
Are these wounds?
Yeah, they're wounds.
11?
Have I killed any?
You've killed 1 and given the other one a nasty foot ache.
Oh dear. It should be worth mentioning as well, we did remember to fight back with the plague surgeon off camera.
Yes, we did indeed.
Polish one off. So after all of that, I just killed 1 Helion. Don't know if I mentioned, the tank fired into the Mandrakes, did no damage. So now I've got the Hellbrutes left because the Blightlord Terminators can't fire because we're locked up in combat. And I don't know whether to fire the Hellbrute at the bikes because there's 3 Heat Lancers there. The other thing I could do with the Hellbrute is thread the needle and shoot Drazar in the face because he's got 4 up and vulnerable save and try and take a chunk of wounds off of him.
He's directly on the other side of the Talos, mate.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll shoot at the bikes then.
See what you think. Come on, have a look.
So I'll shoot the bikes then. It's fine. I'll shoot the bikes. Last cannons coming in hot. Actually, I do... Yeah, last cannons. 1 hit. Wounds on a 2. It wounds. D6 damage. That's really cocked. Well, that will... Oh, yeah. 6 up and Vun. No. So that kills 1. And then the missile launcher hits. Wounds. And 6 up and... kills another. I killed 2 bikes. So at least that cuts away some of the Heat Lance death. And that's the end of my shooting phase. So now we're going to charge. These guys will charge into the Helions. And this unit will charge Drazar. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. And the last Incubus. These guys will pile in the fight phase.
When you activate.
When I activate them. And I'm actually going to charge the drone into these guys here. So let's get that on camera. That's a 10. It will make the charge. These guys could fail on a snake eyes. They don't fail. And they're auto in. Right, charge is complete. They're in there. And I've charged there. You've only got 1 CP, so you can't interrupt. But you did heroically intervene with the Homunculus around here. And there's some rule about fighting last. Something about incubi.
Yeah.
You point at a unit. So you're basically pointing at the Plague Marines and they're fighting last no matter what.
No. I've got to beat you with a dice roll.
Okay.
But the incubi get it and Drazar gets it. And it's not once. If you're affected by this rule, you pick 1 unit. It's each unit gets to do it once.
Okay. So how does this work then? Beat my leadership on 2 dice.
At the start of the fight phase, select 1 enemy unit with an engagement range of this mod and roll 2d6.
Cool.
If the result is greater than the enemy's leadership characteristic, until the end of the phase, that unit is not eligible to fight until after all eligible units from your army have done so.
Okay, so
I'm going to try that with
a 9.
Drazar.
Yes. Oh, that works. So that unit is not eligible to fight until all other units are done so.
Correct.
So the Plague Marines could be in trouble. This could be a thing. Right, let's do some fighting first. Let's start with the easy one. Up here, Plague Drone against dudes, okay?
Yep.
3's to hit. I hit you twice. And 2's to wound with Plague Weapons at -2.
-2.
Yeah.
2 6 up if vulnerable saves.
Yes.
Nope, 2 dead.
2 dead. See, morale on them is going to be significant because that only leaves 3 left.
Yep, it's going to be a thing.
Then the next charging unit will be my Plague Marines. So I'm not going to spend any CP on these guys. I've only got 1 left. Here are all the Plague Knives going in on 3s. And I'm strength 4, your toughness 3 because of contagion. And I reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. And they're AP -1. So that is 6 6-up saves. Oh mama. Flail. And strength 5, toughness 3.
Yep.
They're -2. So 6 up invulnerable saves.
6s.
And that's 2 damage each. Mace. Misses because it's unwieldy. Fist. Hits once. Wounds on a 2. Ha! Right, so that's my 2 charging units. This is my 3rd charging unit, which I can't select. They have to fight last. So Paul is now going to pile in an attack with the Talos, this time against the Blightlord Terminators. 10 attacks. He hits on 3s, and he will wound on 3s, but this time I'll have a 2-up save. How much you get? 4.
4.
That surgeon's still nearby. But it's the first time some of them are injured. 1 takes 2 wounds, is down to 1 left. So the Blightlord Terminators pile in. 1 standing just below that objective there, but now I've got 6 in the breach. This should do it, maybe. Here's the flail. I hit on 3s, and I wound, strength 5, I wound on 4s. Rerolling 1s. Hey. Then -2, 2 damage. So 2 5-up shrugs.
Yeah.
It is not doing it.
It does not have the right to be that alive.
Dude, they all have axes. I'm going to hit you with me axes. Bubotic axes. 3s. Strength +2. So strength 6, your toughness 5.
But you can't win me on 3s.
Yeah, but I need 4s. Oh, look at that.
That's nice.
Re-rolling the plague weapon. They're all -2. So 9 at -2. Maybe this will do it, finally. Please. Please, Papa Nurgle. Papa Dump. You got to make a lot of 5-up. Feel no pains.
Is it 1 each or 2 each?
They're all 1 wound.
All right.
I think it might have taken me 3 turns, but I think I might have cut my way through.
I filmed a battle report last week and I rolled 10 6s in a row.
10 6s in a row. Oh, proper Yahtzee. So
yeah.
Instead, what when you filmed a battle report, what YouTube channel is that battle report on?
It's SayHiPaul.
Is it called SayHiPaul?
It is, yes.
Oh, that sounds like an awesome YouTube channel.
Thank you.
So is he dead?
Yes.
Does he explode? Don't explode. He doesn't explode. He's dead, finally. Thank heavens. Thank Papa Nurgle. Pain engine gone. I bundled forward a little bit, blocking off the gap. And now Drazar strikes. Or Drazar. Drazar? Graham. Let's call him Graham. So Graham, the Master of Blades, is doing his 3 damage attack this time. He's got 5 attacks hitting on 2s. And he hits 3 times. And it's strength what?
6.
Okay, so winning on 3s?
With +1.
Winning on 2s? AP?
-3.
Wow. And it's 3 damage each,
3 damage
which
each.
become 2 damage each. So each failed save of a 6-up would kill a Plague Marine. 3 of them fall. So 3 are dead. Wait, it gets worse. This model can be selected to fight 1 additional time. Remember, my Plague Marines cannot be selected to fight until the end of the phase. So Drazar doing it again. And this time only is twice. But he wins on 2s. And I need 6s. So Graham, the Master of Blades, has killed 5 dudes. So I've pulled the way like this. So the Incubi can't be selected to fight, because you can only be selected to fight if you charged or if you're within an inch of the enemy. So he can't be selected to fight. I still can't fight here. You might as well do your homunculus.
Okay.
6 attacks with the scissor hands, hitting on
2s.
Wow. And it's poison 2+.
Poison 4+.
Poison 4+. Edward Scissorhands.
Oh my god.
So we have Graham and Edward here. AP -2. Wow. 5s. I've got a Plague Marine left on 1 wound. Unless it's multiple damage.
It's not, it's 1.
Okay. The dude with the flail standing there wondering where all of his mates have gone. Still can't fight. Now we're on to the Helions. There's 6 left there. They hit on 3s.
2s because it's turn 3.
Yeah, turn 2s. You're right. Strength 4, winning on 5s. And 6s are AP. Right, the 6 is that kills one, and the 5 is a 4-up. Okay, so 1 dies, 2 wounds, 1 dies.
No, 2 wounds, -1 for disgusting resilience.
Right.
So, yeah, the 2 single wounds kill 1 in total.
Okay. And a Stone Claw hits 3 times. And wounds on...
5s.
Okay. AP?
-1.
Well, that'll hurt. Any wounds, damage? How much damage?
2 damage, so 1.
Okay, I think 1 was injured. I think there's a dice roll there for 1 injured one. 1 minute, let me check. No, there isn't a wounded one there. Well, there is now. So you only killed 1 Plague Marine there. Then we did the Warriors attacking the Feta Bloat Drone. No damage caused. And finally, we can go... Oh yeah, Mandrakes. Many attacks against the tanks. Sorry, you have to wait. Many Mandrakes, 2 attacks each against the tank. Get it on camera this time because it's 3s to hit, 6s to wound. 2s to hit, 6s to wound. And 3. And these are AP -1.
5.
5.
Sorry,
4.
4.
And you take 2 more wounds off the tank. Right, now, finally, the tank's down to 8. Finally, Flail of Corruption versus Drukhari. It occurred to me the reason why I charged him as well was to get on that objective, which I'm not on anymore. Never mind. Hitting on 3s. I'm strength 5. Your toughness...
3 at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Because of you. You smell.
Rerolling 1s. 1 wound. 1 4-up invulnerable save. Which you make. And... they'll fail morale my Plague Marine on anything but a 1. Oh, look. He foolishly decides to hang around there and go toe-to-toe. Maybe for vengeance for his brothers, all dying around him. You have a morale on all of these warriors up here. You're going to need a 1 as well, because I killed 7. Oh, dear. So 1 more flees. Then on 1s and 2s, there's 1 warrior left up there with the drone, but it is OBSEC.
Yeah, but
you are scoring that objective.
But you're going to get to hit me before that counts.
Oh, yes. Well, no, because you can get to run. It'll be your turn, so you'll be able to fall back.
Oh, I suppose I could.
And then I killed 4 or 5 Helions? I killed
5.
4 Helions.
Was it 4?
Or 5. Now we have to find out. 5, including shooting. Yes, that's a fail. And then you've got 5 more left on 1s and 2s, which could sting. So...
3 in total.
3 in total, leaving 3 left standing. And we have a scenery malfunction. And at the end of turn 3 for the Death Guard, I killed the Raider, I killed the Talus, and I'm on 1. Just 1 objective, because you score that one, you score that. And it's 2 points to 1 for the Drukhari. They continue to dance around the Death Guard, but that was pretty brutal. And there's still 2 more turns to go. Can you take that kind of abuse one more time? Mind you, I'm running out of assets.
Can you?
Can I? We're hacking each other apart here. What will the Drukhari do in turn 3? Here we are after the Drukhari's movement phase. The Mandrakes have faded away, back into strategic reserve, ready to pop up and strike again. But more importantly, the tank's now down to 8 wounds, and that frees up the Scourges to fire down and destroy it utterly. Remember, I killed a couple of units. The Drukhari want to kill a couple of units. And look who's finally decided to make it to the party. The Archon over here.
It's probably reasonably safe over there, so he might turn up.
It's reasonably safe there. There's an empty, steaming, pus-filled rhino over there. The Death Guard are getting hacked to pieces left, right and centre, and he's decided, yes, look at my brilliant plan.
You got it.
The witches have gone bundling forward to go into the Plague Marines because the Hellions have broken out to take on the Poxwalkers. So that's a nice, beautiful move. And the Succubus, looks like the Succubus is going to take on a Hellbrute on her own.
Yeah.
Genius. Meanwhile, the Raider moves up to get that objective. So we have some disappearing, you've on all the objectives round here again. Some charges, some overlapping charges happening. Down this end, This warrior did fall out of combat and stood on the objective saying, no, it's mine, mainly because there's 2 heat lancers there that can fire up and nuke the drone. And Drukhari can fall back and charge as well.
No, I've had to play command point to do that.
Play a command point to do that?
Yep.
Okay, so Drukhari has hopped out of combat with the last remaining Plague Marine, and he fancies his chances against an entire unit of Blight Lord Terminators.
Why not?
Exactly. I don't fancy his chances, but I want to see what happens.
So do I.
So let's go to the shooting phase. So we've come up to this end of the battle grid to see if the Scourgers can strip the last few wounds off that Plague Burst Crawler. What do you want to start with? Dark Lance?
Dark Lance.
Because we stood still this time.
3+.
3s. Brilliant. And then a 4. Oh, Blaster? Doesn't hit. Nope. Okay, those are the big
You're
D6
back
weapons.
in the mincer. Heat Lance.
Heat Lance.
No.
Oh dear. And then the Haywire. D3 shots. 1 shot. Hits. Strength 3. Doesn't wound, but does a mortal wound.
Yeah.
So you did a
wound to it.
A wound to a tank.
Alright, they're no longer in my good books. They're back in the conveyor
They
belt
did
towards
okay
the mincer.
last turn though, because they wiped out the thing and wiped out the other tank. And now we're going to put lots of shots into the Hellbrute round here. No, we're not doing this against the Hellbrute. That's redundancy stuff, SayHiPaul tells me. He's going to start down here with the Eye Burst. The Bodyguard squad are going to try and take on the Rhino.
D6 also hits with the Eye Burst.
Okay, 2.
Strength 4.
Right.
On 5s. -2.
-2. I don't make the save. How much damage is it?
Just 1.
It's on 1 wound left, the tank.
Okay, and now 2 sharp carbines.
Right.
And, yep.
Okay.
6s.
5 hits. No wounds.
With the pistol.
Hits. Wounds.
This is the Archon.
The Archon doesn't take the last wound off. What else we got?
Now we'll do the vehicle itself.
Okay. What's this? Splinter
Some
cannons?
yeah.
So 6s to wound
again.
because I'm a vehicle.
No.
No. Still got 1 wound left. Anything else?
Now we'll fire the...
Anything else?
Now we'll fire the disintegrator.
Now the disintegrator. Okay.
Shots.
3 shots. 3s to hit. Strength 5.
Wounding on 5.
It wounds.
-3.
6s. And the Rhino finally gets taken out and does not explode. So the Drukhari have killed 1 thing, Death Guard 2 things. Now we're going on to the Witches, putting a blast pistol into the Hellbrute and all the splinter weaponry into the Plague Marines. Last pistol hits.
Wounding on 3. No.
Doesn't wound. Splinter weaponry. And the splinter weaponry did nothing to Plague Marines in cover with a 2-up save. Last thing left to fire, 2 Heat Lancers at the fetid bloke drone. And they both hit. 3s to wound. And they both wound. Can I make a demon save? I can't make either of my demon save. And this is D6 +2. That's 3. Sorry, that becomes 3.
Yep.
And that becomes 5.
Yep.
Which is 8. I'm on 8 wounds. Because I took 1 wound.
Are you going to blow it up? And off the objective?
The drone,
Yeah.
I've got 1 CP.
Yeah.
And it'll detonate and do 1 mortal wound.
It'll take me off the objective.
But I think they have 2. Nope. Cyberites only have 1 wound.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter if I kill you because you outnumber me on all the objectives anyway.
But it is another unit dead. I'd have
It
to
is another unit dead in this battle round. I'd have killed 3 and you'd have killed 2. So let's auto-detonate. Putrid detonation. And when the smoke clears after the Heat Lancers have shot, nothing is stood on that balcony anymore. That is the end of the shooting phase.
1 more gun.
We've got another gun.
Stinger pistol.
Okay.
Hit to a 2.
Yes.
Poison 2+.
Okay. AP?
Nope.
He survives. He loves your poison. Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, num, 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 num.
Then the Succubus charged here. The Helions charged. The Poxwalkers. Drukhari went into the Blight Lord Terminators, which is going to be interesting. You charged in over there. I haven't got any CP anywhere to interrupt. Witches might fail. Everyone else was an auto. Witches don't fail. They'll get into the Plague Marines. So every Drukhari unit's made its charge and can fight before the Plague Marines can even act, the Death Guard can even act. We're starting with the Clavex. 1 wound on this Plague Marine left. You're doing the Strength 5 attacks?
Do the Strength 5 attacks.
Okay, 2's to hit, right?
2's to hit, yep.
Because it's turn 3, so you're hitting on 2s everywhere.
Wound on 5s.
Wound on 4s.
4s.
Okay, and the 6 is AP minus 4, I believe.
Yep.
He's just cut down. Well, that was easy. Now the Helions, 3 of them attacking 7 Poxwalkers.
Do the Stun Claw separately because it's got different stats.
Okay, 2's to hit. And you roll 3 ones.
Yeah.
Strength 4, toughness 4. 3 wounds.
2 damage each.
2 damage each. So it goes straight through the armour. I need 6. Need 6s. Need 6s. You kill 3. There's 4 left.
Uh-oh.
Stun Claw.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. How much damage is this?
These are 2 each, but that's a mortal wound in addition. So
Mortal wound in addition. Okay, he's dead. And then another one. Another one. Right, there's 1 left.
There's 1 left.
There's a Poxwalker left.
He's
a troop on an objective. I like it. So there's a Poxwalker left. My Blight Lord Terminators are scoring that objective. The Drukhari have killed 3 things. The Plague Marine, the Rhino, and the Exploding Drone with 3 units each. None of us are going to get a point for kill more unless the Succubus or the Helions or Drazar can do something. So we're moving on to Succubus versus Hellbrute. 6 attacks?
Yep, with a Bloodglaive.
Bloodglaive, 2's to hit.
Oh, man.
You like rolling 1s.
I'll do this turn.
Strength?
6.
Okay, toughness 7. 2 wounds, AP.
Minus 3.
Well, that's the 6 that you rolled as an AP minus 4. I don't get a save. The 5 is AP. No, I failed both of them. How much damage?
3 each.
Which becomes 2 each.
4.
So it's on 4. So now we have the 7 witches left and Drazar left to fight. Lots of dice ready for the 7 witches. Where are we starting?
Okay, we're starting with the unit champion.
Okay.
Getting on 2s.
Right.
Agonizer 4+.
Okay.
2. Minus 2.
Yeah, but the 6 is AP minus 3, right?
Yes, it's not blade though, so it really shouldn't be. But
so there's the minus 3, that gets through. And the other one gets through. I am in rage of the surgeon. That's why he's there. Doesn't help me. 5 Plague Marines left, 1 on the wound. What we do next?
Profile of the Razor Flails is the same, so the double attacks will just add them in with the knives.
Okay, yep, sure. All the stuff. 2's to hit.
2's to hit.
5's to wound?
5 to wound.
5's to wound. 6s are AP minus 2. 3 AP minus 2. So these are 5 up saves. And 3 4-up saves. 2 4-up saves?
2 4-up saves.
2 4-up saves. Okay, so 3 get through, 6 is to shrug. I don't shrug any. The Plague Surgeon hasn't helped me at all. Then the witches pile in. There's 3 Plague Marines left. Now we're on to Drazar. We've got to do his leadership thing. My leadership is 9, which you beat. Because that means you can fight and then fight again before fighting, and then I would interrupt. Then I would fight because it wasn't the end of the... Yeah, basically you can fight twice. So, yes, brilliant. So, he's got 10 attacks doing 2 damage each, which would be 3, but I'm Death Guard.
Sorry, it's...
Or 20 attacks doing 2 damage each.
Which would be 1, because Death Guard.
So 20 attacks or 10 attacks?
Yeah.
20 with 1s or 10 with 2s?
They both take you down to your invulnerable save, so it doesn't make any difference there.
And they both wound on...
The 10 attacks will wound on 3s, the 20 will wound on 4s.
So what are we doing?
10 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s.
Doing this twice or?
Yeah, the twice.
Okay. So. Right. So 8 hits and 3s to wound.
3s to wound.
And drop dice don't count. So 7 wounds. Yep. And they're all in buns.
Yep.
Okay. And how much damage?
3 a time, which drops to 2.
2 a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
1 was on 1 wound.
Yeah. 2 6s, he's dead. The next guy, and again. You kill 2, and then you do it again. What?
That was both goes.
That was both goes.
That was both goes.
So he kills 2.
Kills 2.
Right, okay. He kills 2. Now I can fight back. Right, flail. 3s. And I'm strength 5, so 3s. That many. 4 up and vulnerable saves, each doing 2 damage. He's got 4. 4, that was 4. He's doing 2 damage. He's got 4 wounds left.
No, but 2 damage goes down to 1 damage. I've got the same thing.
On him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on 2 wounds. And now I've got my axes. And I can't pile that. And I can't pile that guy through because I'll end up off the objective. So, and where's the sergeant? Oh, that one's the sergeant. So I do have an extra attack. So 3s.
Oh, I thought about paying lightning fast reflexes, but I should have done.
Strength 6, toughness 3, rerolling 1s, 4 up and vulnerable saves, 2 wounds left. These will do 1 damage each. Takes a wound. He doesn't take a wound. He does take his final wound, and and Drukhari should not have gone charging into those Blightlord Terminators.
Having decapitated the ones he decapitates, he lifts up their heads and retreats.
I like it. Dances back into the webway. Poxwalker over here is going to try and munch on your Helions. 4s? No, he doesn't. Right, and then we're going to come across here versus your Witches. And there's a Flail in the Plague Marine squad. 3s to hit. This will wound you on 2s and reroll 1s. Okay, 4 wounds on the Witches.
1 dead.
Wow. Dancing right, dancing left. There's the Sergeant. He hits 4 times with his fist. 3 times. He wounds 3 times with his fist. And that's 4 dead in total. Yep. And then finally there's the guy with the axe and the axe and the mace. What I'm going to do with the axe and the mace is use the axe because it's not unwieldy, because I'm wounding you on 2s with this. They're both wounding on 2s, but this is hitting on 3s. Doesn't help me. And that wounds 4 up and bun. I killed 5 witches and 4 witches in total?
5.
5 witches? No, because the fist killed 3 plus the 1. Yeah, 5. 5 in total. Right, morale for me. I lost 3 Plague Marines. Don't roll a 6 Winters. I rolled a 4. I'm okay. And then we have morale for the... Is there only 2 remaining witches?
Yep.
Oh dear. Yeah. 2 plus 5 is 7.
They're good.
They're going to hold. They're going to dance around these Plague Marines in their merry place. And that is...
Terminators?
Yeah, I lost 2. Their leadership 9.
Ah, right.
You killed more than me.
I didn't.
What?
Because you killed Drazar.
Oh! I killed Drazar. That's 4 things I've killed.
And I killed
because
3.
that blew up and 2 in your turn.
2 in my turn.
And you killed the Rhino and the thing and the
guy.
thing.
And I failed to kill them or them and them and them.
I killed 4, you killed 3.
4 targets I missed.
But you're on more objectives. So
yep.
I get a point and the Drukhari get a point. It was 2 points to 1, which means it's 3 points to 2. It's a bloodbath, but there still is only 1 point in it as we head to turn 4. And here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. I've got 5 units left, and one of them is a Poxwalker that has fallen back underneath that objective there. Oh, 1 minute. Need to move my Plague Surgeon as well. He'll heal himself at the end of the movement phase. He gives himself a wound. And he'll go stand underneath the objective and hold hands with the Poxwalker. Now, I believe SayHiPaul put too much faith in his Scourgers killing this tank. He's given me the tank to shoot with one more time, which is interesting. Very interesting. So I've got some shenanigans up my sleeve. It's 3 points to 2. But if I can start blowing you off objectives, this could be a thing. Maybe blow you off of that one. Maybe charge the Homunculus here with the Blightlord Terminators. I've got a command point back again. So I'm going to do the Blightning one more time, which means that their grenades become pistol 6 and auto hit and engagement range. The idea is if I can kill those last 2 witches in the shooting phase, then that unit of Plague Marines which are currently engaged could charge the Helions in the fight phase. So quite simply, they pull the pin from their Blight Grenades and drop them at their feet. Pistol 6, which automatically hit.
Yep.
That's 18 auto hits.
Yep.
And your toughness 2.
That's unfortunate.
So I'm wounding on 2s. And I'm rerolling 1s.
Oh, Blight Grenades strength 4 now?
They're strength 4 now.
Ah.
And that is 17 wounds. Here's some of the saves. Yeah, they're dead. So that's pretty good. That's 1 unit dead. Unit number 2. They're going to fire I'm going to fire the Blight Launcher because I can charge both, I think. Don't get greedy. Yes, get greedy. I'm going to fire the Blight Launcher and one Combi Bolter at them, and then the other Blight Combi Bolters at them. Split and fire always works. Hitting on 3s against him with my Blight Launcher. 1 hit. It's strength 6. You're currently toughness 2. That wounds you at AP -2, 2 damage. If you fail a 5-up save, like that, he gets wiped out. That's 2 units dead. And then 2 Combi Bolters will fire back at the Helions, hitting them on 3s. And they're currently toughness 3, so this will wound on 3s. But they're infantry and cover, so they have 5 4-up saves. And 2 wounds each.
Kills 1.
1 dies, 1 takes a wound. The pistol from the Plague Surgeon missed. Right, tank. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to split fire all over the place. So the entropy cannons and mortar will go down there.
Oh, okay.
And the slugger will go into the Helion. So now I could fire it up and over and get greedy. But let's get them off that objective. Here's the slugger into the Helions though. And I need 3s to wound. 2 wounds at -1. No.
The Helions.
Yeah, so they have 2 5-up saves. Oh, one's on a wound. And then the entropy cannons at the bikes. Both hit. 2s. Rerolling 1s, and it's minimum 3 at AP. You need 6 up and buns, mate.
5 vulnerable saves for turn 4.
Oh yeah. No.
No.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. So I've killed them. I've killed 3 things so far, and the last thing left to fire is the Hellbrute at your Succubus because you're in close combat with me. Point blank range.
-1.
Heavy weapons. So, -1. 4s to hit with the las cannons. And 2s to wound. That's a wound. You're in close combat.
No, it's in the fight phase, but she just gets sick. Oh, wait, hers. Let me roll it. I think hers might be all the time.
That won't help.
That won't help.
D6 damage. 2 damage. Missile launcher. Hits. Wounds. Do it again. That might help.
We need to check.
No, Witches have a 4-up and vulnerable save in combat, but the Succubus has a flat 4-up and vuln, so she's fine. She's got 3 wounds left. That's the end of my shooting phase. That is pretty good. I've killed 3 things. Let's kill some more. Plague Marines are going to charge the Helions after grenading the Witches, and they're in. And these Blightlord Terminators are going to charge the Homunculus, and they get in as well. The Homunculus is surrounded as well as the Helions. Let's do the flail into the Helions. Hitting on 3s. And I'm strength 5, they're toughness 3, so I'm wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. 3 5-up and vulnerable saves. And one of them dies because it's 2 damage. Then the fist hits once. Wounds once. And that's a flat 2 damage. They're wiped out. And that's 4 things. Now we're on to the Blightlord Terminators. Here's the flail. And your toughness 4, I believe?
4, yeah.
So that is 3 4-up and vulnerable saves. I don't know. Does he actually have a save, the Homunculus?
No, it was a 6+ save on his own, but
right.
it's...
But it's 5-up and vuln now because of power from pain.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So 3 5-up and vulnerable saves. He takes 2 wounds. Does he reduce...
He shrugs, but no.
Okay, so he's got 4 wounds left.
Yep.
Now we've got axes. 3s. Strength 6, toughness 3 because of contagion. So 2s to wound. A chunk more in buns. 9 in buns. And 6 feel no pains. And he's got 4 wounds left and he's hanging in there on 1 wound. Brave little Homunculus. And now the Succubus will fight back against this Hellbrute. A bajillion attacks on 2s. 3 1s.
Oh my god.
Oh no. 5s to wound.
5 to wound.
A wound. AP -3.
3, yeah.
I make the save. Right, I'm going to kick her to death then. 5 attacks. 3s to hit.
Can't hit on 3s.
4s to hit.
Wall effect.
4s to hit.
Yep.
2s to wound. 2 more wounds. 2 more 4-up and vulnerable saves. Stomp, stomp, and she's on 1 wound left as well. Now let's see what the Homunculus can do. He hits on 2s And he wounds on
2s.
2s. Nice. Poison 2
No,
up.
4s. 4 with a scissor hand.
4 with a scissor hand.
Yeah.
AP
-2.
-2. That's well, it's all 4 up and buns, right?
Yeah.
You injure one twice, but don't kill one. And that was a very quick turn. That's the end of Death Guard turn 4. I've killed 4 things. I'm on 2 objectives. The Drukhari are on 2 objectives. These 2 objectives are just hanging in the wind. However, the Archon zipping around on his venom. He can jump onto one of them. There are some mandrakes about to materialize from the shadows one more time. So zipping onto these objectives shouldn't be too difficult for the Drukhari at all. 3 points to 2. If you get more objectives than me and get a point, and I kill more than you and get a point, you'll still be winning by a point.
I'm not going to kill 4 units.
You'll still be winning by a point. So it's everything to play for as we go to Drukhari, turn 4. It's turn 4, there's 1 point in it, and we're heading towards the end game. So the Homunculus on 1 wound breaks out of combat with the Blight Lord Terminators, and the Succubus on 1 wound breaks out of combat with the Hellbrute and re-embarks inside her raider. The Scourges eye up the Plagueburst Crawler, and mandrakes appear from the shadows one more time while the Archon zips across to the last objective. The Drukhari control 4 out of 6 of the objectives, but they're going to need to kill 4 things, which doesn't look likely, but they will still lead if they have more objectives than me by 1 point, and then it'll all come down to turn 5. So we're going to start with the Disintegrator into the Hellbrute, 3s to hit, and 5s to wound. And it wounds 3 times. This is good. I need 6s. I make 1 6. How much damage is it?
2, so 1.
1. So it's on 2 wounds left. After the 2 wounds were taken off the Hellbrute, the Scourges fired everything down into the Plagueburst Crawler one more time and took 2 wounds off of that as well. And the cry of anguish could be heard.
Mincer!
They're going in the mincer after this fight. But now we're on to the Bale Blasts from the Mandrakes down into the Blightlord Terminators on 3s. And at strength 4, they're winning on 5s. 6s do mortal wounds in addition.
Not 1.
Not 1. The tide may be turning. -1 though. And oh, look at that. 3 wounds. So a Blightlord Terminator falls, and now 2 Splinter Cannons fire into the Blightlord Terminators on 3s. And wound on 4s, Splinter Weaponry, and they're AP -1, 2 damage each. So 3s, which become 1 damage each, which kill 1. I'll put it on my Sergeant, or Champion equivalent, and do that. And I believe that's the end of the shooting phase. Have we got any charges, sir?
We will. Just let me think for a moment.
Okay. There is a charge. The Raider with the Shock Prow leaves the objective and charges the Hellbrute. And because it has a Shock Prow, stratagem.
Shock Prow.
Yes.
On a 2+, it takes D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. Okay. So D3, 2 wounds to get through. And the Dreadnought goes and does not blow up. It simply gets cut in half, and that's the end of turn 4. And the Death Guard get a point for killing more. The Drukhari get a point for being on more objectives. So it's 4 points to 3 as we head to turn 5. And here we are at the very end of the Death Guard movement phase. And this is the way the world ends. It is all over. I managed to kill the Homunculus here and blow 6 of the guys up there, but I'm on 2 objectives, and the Drukhari are on 3 objectives, so they will get another point. There was no way I could get on to at this stage of the game. Look, if I cracked that open, you could have got some guys out onto that objective. If I'd have shot through there with the Plague Burst Mortar and cracked the Raider open, then the Witch could have got out the Succubus and hit on below that objective there. And I couldn't bring enough firepower to bear on the Scourges. And you have to remember in turn 5, not only did Drukhari have a 5-up and vulnerable save, but they ignore all morale tests.
Feeding off your pain.
They're feeding off of the pain and off of the
it.
smelliness. So an extra point The game ends, with me conceding 5 points. 5 points to 4, 5 points to 3. It ends with a Drukhari victory. This is the extent of my force. 3 Plague Marines, 3 Blight Lord Terminators, the Surgeon, and this thing over here.
And the Poxwalker.
And a Poxwalker managed to survive, but Typhus was taken out. And Delirium the Corruptor was taken out. It was... You dancing around the edges did exactly what you needed to do. And putting units back inside transports, because last turn I was thinking about maybe shooting her in close combat and then charging the raider and contesting that objective.
That's why I did it.
That's why you did it. That was a good move. Units inside that means even if I blow it up,
that's why I did it.
There's some dudes there. I could have moved 5 inches forward and charged the mandrakes and been below them. But that means coming off of that objective.
And you couldn't get the burst crawler round.
I couldn't get that round. I couldn't get them onto there. I couldn't.
The Homunculus was stood there and he was affecting the way you had to move to get the distance. Yeah.
So that was good. Falling him back that way and not that way meant he sacrificed himself.
I didn't have a choice.
But it slowed down my move.
I was surrounded by Terminators. I couldn't have fallen back this way. I couldn't have moved through them. I had to go that way.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put myself in front of the 2 entropy cannons that killed me.
An absolutely brutal game. I mean, you've got very little left as well. These guys dancing around that edge. And though you don't like your Scourges,
look at them with a ruddy mincer, mate.
They've been holding that object, the ability to jump around, the speed of the Drukhari.
Do you know why they're still there?
Why?
Because it's not been worth your while to shoot them.
I think they add something though. With the Reavers are scary. The Helions with all the buffs on are scary.
They're very characterful. They go with the list. That's why I've got them.
Yeah. That was a glorious game though. It's very interesting, that scenario on this battlefield. It was the resilience and the push of the Death Guard versus your speed. I think once the killing of the Death Guard got up, it did feel very, very brutal.
I think we had one turn where I managed to get the extra point for the kill. That's how I'm 1 notch ahead.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I think I got the objectives nearly every turn and you got the kills nearly every turn.
A couple of key moments as well, like the Pain Engine not dying earlier. If the Blight Lords had broken out of there a bit earlier, that would have been a good thing. But there's been some...
The Rhino not dying.
I was about to say, there's key moments for me, like the Rhino not dying was a late... But Drazar, what an absolute tank, being able to fight. How many points is he? Because he seems to be like an auto-include. The ability to fight twice, so long as he's eligible. The ability to...
He's 7 power.
7 power, so you're looking at about 140 points.
150,
yeah.
Like.
So the ability to point at a unit and say, no, you fight last.
The Incubi get that as well.
The Incubi get that
as well.
It's nice. It's nice. The ability for the guys to disappear off and come back in again.
That was nice. I like that. My plan was to do that with the Venom that had the Incubi and Drazar in.
Yeah.
But then you blew up the Venom.
Okay, all right. They were going to... All right, so your Incubi and Drazar would have disappeared and then reappeared up there.
Yeah.
I like what you did there because it doesn't really matter with a speedy army that can disappear and reappear. I mean, the Mandrake's disappearing and reappearing.
I like that.
It doesn't really matter where you deploy in turn 1 because in turn 2, turn 3, you could be all over the place. Indeed, you was all over the place. I didn't get very far, but the whole battle grid was your playground.
I mean, look, I am in 3 of the 4 corners of the battlefield still. Yeah. I'm still everywhere, even with only a very small number of units left.
Yeah. I think if you're fighting Drukhari going forward, Death Guard are slow. Death Guard have always lacked speed, but if you're going up against Drukhari, you're going to need to inject a little bit more speed to your forces, I think. What do you think?
I think so, yeah. Maybe even some reinforcement points to summon some demons.
Yeah, they can't do that anymore, but yeah, that'd be nice.
Can they not?
Have a secondary detachment with Nurgle demons. That's the power play to play.
They can't do that now?
No.
Oh.
Do you remember in 7th edition, though, when like Space Marine librarians could summon demons? Anyone could summon demons.
That's totally wrong.
Any psychic could go, demons.
Well, even things like plague drones, which move 12, you've got them on there. They're hard to kill.
Yeah. There are a lot of versions of Death Guard lists online which have got 2 detachments Death Guard and some Nurgle demons to pop in and do some stuff, plague bearers, things like that.
Well, do you know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that the first time you come up and see me
Yes.
on SayHiPaul, I think we should do something with Typhus in Cormorant.
But Typhus and Cormorant are breaking out of Cormorant.
Yeah, why not?
Them dragging him back there is not a good idea.
It's not the wisest idea.
No.
But there's a wealth of knowledge. He's a mind to tap.
They don't want that wealth of knowledge. They don't want to tap that mind. Even Mortarion didn't want to tap that mind. I thought you said that was going to do something with Titans. I'm coming to yours in a couple of weeks. We're going to do a battle report, Winters versus SayHiPaul, for SayHiPaul on your channel.
Yeah.
With Titans.
I think we can get 2 games in a day.
You think?
Well,
Us. We're talking. I mean, this is what us. We're just chatting and chatting and chatting and
We
chatting
are,
and chatting and chatting.
but
what? But
if we did the Typhus thing as like a 500 points game,
right. Well, who's on his side? Who's in Team Typhus?
demons.
Demons. You're right.
Demons. They
Yes.
get him in a chamber, start torturing him. As soon as they get out, he goes, right, lads. And they all appear.
Typhus is pretty cool as well. You know, he's got base 6 attacks, and he can turn that into 12 attacks.
So I reckon we could do like 500 points where he's in the torture chamber and he's just ripping through Cormorant to get out.
He's pretty tasty.
So if we could do that as like a 500 point game, and then we could do the Titan game, which only 6 models aside.
Yeah.
We could do that in
We
all.
could do that. On what YouTube channel is that going to be on?
SayHiPaul.
Hi, Paul. On what YouTube channel is that going to be on?
SayHiPaul.
Hi, Paul. On what? Why do you keep telling me to? Dude, where's your car? Dude, sweet.
Sweet.
Dude, sweet.
Sweet.
Dude, where's my car? Great movie. 90s reference there. What was I going to say? Well, you see, the thing is, Drukhari versus Typhus. My money's on Drukhari. Because that fight twice. Damage minus...
My money's on whoever gets to charge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Drukhari's got a flat 4-up invulnerable save, but he minuses 1 to all damage.
So does Typhus. So does Typhus. They both got both those.
Typhus is a psyker as well, and he can do things like what is the one? I gave him Curse the Leper. That's it. Curse the Leper with Smite is quite brutal.
That had quite an effect on this game because the null zone.
Yeah.
The anti-psychic mine that I detonated in the air.
Yeah.
You lost a lot of your psychic powers.
Yeah.
And then with the Helm of Spite, you took mortal wounds. That had an effect. Yeah.
I like that. I like the randomness and chicanery that can happen from the open
This
war
could have been anything, couldn't it?
It could have been anything.
We didn't know the deployment when we put the objectives down. We didn't know the twist when we put. We just didn't know.
We did talk about it beforehand. Let's do it behind the scenes here, which was, shall we pick something or shall we just let Zinch decide? And you went, Zinch. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And this is what Zinch decided. I think I've only picked the open war thing once or twice. I want to say twice, definitely not 3 times. All the ones, like I've done a chunk on YouTube now, I've done a chunk on Deployment Zone, and I may have picked twice, probably once. Actually letting it do itself and do it right, it comes up with all sorts of weird stuff. I love it.
I think it's really good for sort of one-off games where you say, right, okay, what's the scenario going to be? Now it's all this, what's the story?
Yeah.
I use them quite a lot when I already know what the story is, and I think, okay, what of these cards, what fits the story?
I know what you're saying, but the other thing I've found is if you just draw the card, it tells the story, right? This is the objective, this is the deployment. Even if you brought X versus Y and use the open war cards,
but if you're
as soon as you pull the cards, it tells you what the story is.
If you're doing a narrative where you're following a story.
If you've set up a narrative.
Pretty much everything I do is that.
Yeah. Yeah, everything you do is narrative, not match play.
Pretty much. I think I've done like 2 or 3 at first, and then I got pretty bored of it pretty quick.
They're very samey.
They are.
All the match play missions. I like playing match play. I will still play match play. I am looking forward to doing some tournament practice in the run-up to No Retreat Legends. The people in the deployment zone will follow my tournament practice journey in there. I'm going to be doing a lot in there, but I'm going to put up a couple of them with the lists on YouTube as well. Just a couple here or there. But yeah, we could talk for hours.
We often do.
GameMap.eu for the thing. March of War for all this glorious resin terrain and all the barricades and the ammo stuff everywhere. Apparently you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's called SayHiPaul.
HiPaul. And you can become a member as well and support your YouTube channel.
Yeah, members get
extra content.
They get content. I do members only live streams, like Q&As. Does it every month? I've got a Discord.
Yeah. You know what? If I was a deploymentzone.tv member, I would cancel my membership right now and subscribe to SayHiPaul. Happy wargaming.